will break again. I'll be a fool again. One more time.
The man, Mr. Ray Charles. Here we go again. Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown.
And good morning. I'm Lee Barris.
And
we got the donkey man in the house.
Donkey man. He started the week out and he's ending the week with us. How you doing?
Ain't that sweet? That just makes my week.
I like that song.
It's a whole lot better than being on I-95 this morning.
Yes.
I-95. Oh, Lord. Butcher City, right?
You ain't wrong.
Yeah.
South Carolina did all that work from mile marker 184 down to mile marker 170, and it's worse.
Worse.
It's worse.
Worser.
My goodness gracious.
More worser.
My. Well, you know, sometimes it's when government gets involved, it's not necessarily the best thing in the world.
I agree with that.
Oh, I've got to say it's the TGIF.
Well,
Yeah.
TGI. Oh, yeah. Forget about that. It is TGI. Good.
It's Red Friday. Remember,
Friday,
everyone deployed.
I wore a different type of blue just for the Wildcats. I didn't have my Wildcat shirt. It was dirty. So
This
I'm
is
sorry.
for our deployed military.
Oh, I thought
We
it was
honor
for
them.
Cardinals.
And law enforcement and Cardinals, except Cardinals are not playing tonight.
No,
they're off tonight.
What did Chris call that? An off night or something?
We called it we had a bye game.
Bye
What we
game,
used to
whatever
call
it is. Anyway, that's what it is. It's the one.
They're not playing. That's what I
Yeah.
call it.
It's one of the
Taking the weekend off.
Yeah, I doubt it seriously.
You know, they practice. They
Exactly.
practice all 5 days. I
Yeah.
guarantee you.
After last weekend and
We did.
that close call with White Oak. Those boys at White Oak were some tough ones.
Yeah, that used to be a Richlands rivalry until Southwest was built.
Yeah,
Everyone was.
Yeah, everybody was against White Oak, and I don't know why. I mean,
why not?
I got some good backer cropping buddies that come from White Oak School, and we talked about that in the backer patch all summer long. Yeah, you wait till you get on the line. I got you. I'm the nose guard, and I got you. So you might.
Yeah,
The quarterback used to crop, but we got you.
head to head we go, and we
Yeah.
go. It is what it is. So.
Well, I still have leg cramps from all the pacing last week at the game.
You did that.
I'm going up and down those stairs. So,
You've washed your hair since then, right?
yes.
That's a good thing. Hey, okay, guys, you can watch us as you are now on Facebook and on YouTube, and hear us on Facebook and on YouTube. We for whatever period of time, we're not going to be on broadcast radio. Don't know how long that will be, but
Yeah.
we're working on it. We got a couple things. Some stuff
Yes, we
happened
do.
quickly yesterday, without notice, and so we are
Very
not
much
where
so.
we were, and but we are here. We're right here, and you can still call us, and we'd like to entertain your calls at any time. 910, the number is right here. 910-333-0139. 910-33. Yes, it's been modified.
Yeah, we're modifying our sign.
Yeah, it had to be done under cover of darkness. So
In the
we didn't have a
darkness
whole
of
lot
night.
Didn't have a whole lot of time that was going on.
Yep.
910-333-0139. Won't be taking any commercial breaks this morning. We're
Yeah.
doing weather,
Wow.
which is sponsored, but we will have, hopefully, you can go out there and if any of you guys are in the advertising mode, and all of you who are politicians, guess what?
Mhm.
We can now advertise. We can take your ads.
Yeah.
That's right. And guess what? We're
Give us
running a
call.
special,
Oh, yes, we are.
and you're going to save a lot of
For
money.
about a month, you
Yes.
can save a whole heap of more money.
Yep.
And Christmas coming up, so you might think about
Yes.
that for just a minute. What did you
And
say?
just
And you can
being.
send us a Christmas gift or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Another
you-
boat,
We have got
another donkey.
we have got so much planned that's going to be
Oh, yeah.
even better
Yeah.
than what we were before. So
And if you
y'all
kick out,
stand by.
The talk's
kick out
already
$2
worked.
grand a month,
$2,000.
we'll escort Lee in her purple bikini to your residence twice a month.
to pick it up.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I figured you'd say what? Yeah, if they'll kick out $2 grand a month for advertising. Well, when you go pick up the check, you can be in your purple bikini.
Well, we definitely won't have many advertisers.
At least
You would be surprised.
She'll
No.
wear it under her clothes.
Yeah,
No,
and she'll
no.
for extra grand,
Not
she'll take.
happening.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a good pitch. You would be surprised
Something wrong with
of
Timmy.
the
you know that.
men and women who would love to see you in a two-piece purple bikini. You would
Why
be
purple?
surprised.
What's the purple?
Well, that's my
You,
favorite.
you
Oh,
just
is that what
look.
that-
I haven't had much sleep. Let me just enjoy my coffee.
Yeah, she's trying to fool us and say that's coffee.
Yeah, you call that coffee and rum?
It is.
Right,
It is
right.
just regular coffee.
Yeah.
Pikes Peak, so good.
Yeah, okay.
And I woke up late this morning, ran late, so
Well, just Diane, I got her some American honey one time, and she didn't have any creamer. One
What?
Saturday morning.
What is American honey?
Wild Turkey makes it. Jim Beam makes it. It's a liqueur, and it's made with honey.
Liqueur.
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 And she put a little bit in her coffee that Saturday morning,
She's still dancing, huh?
and she enjoyed it. She said it was pretty good.
Did
Yeah,
she know
well-
what he was?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why don't you
This is
describe
nice. Getting so many messages on social media and on my phone saying, "Y'all, please stay on."
her? Okay, but
You
we gotta
know.
have advertisers.
Right. And
Because it actually costs money to run this thing. You know,
Yeah,
y'all don't
I-
realize that.
I had so many phone calls last night saying you're our only source of news locally. You're our community radio. So
I
hey,
heard that
we're
as
here.
well.
Well,
Here.
it's the truth. It's the only news station really in town
It's okay.
that I know
And
of.
we try not to do news.
Yeah,
I mean, we will.
but
we will.
you do
We do
anyway.
what other news people do.
Speaking
We
of
tell
news.
you what they do, but
Wait.
we are not supposed to be news oriented.
Yeah.
We don't originate news.
I mean, you got to look at.
Unfortunately, we have to from time to time.
Well, I mean,
because
you got to
nobody
look
else
at what
does.
comes in. You got the sheriff comes in from time to time.
Sure.
County commissioners come in from time to time. You may
Couple-
get somebody
couple-
board of education come in sometime. You got
State senator, U.S. senator.
yeah, you got what
Congressman.
the Secret Service agent.
Yeah.
He calls it.
Yeah.
That's always good
No,
when he calls in. Yeah,
Oh yeah, Tim.
and the things that
He's so
can't
interesting.
say, that when we get together
Yeah.
with no microphones around, we can talk,
yes, yeah, y'all can.
and we do.
yes, y'all can.
Well, you can actually. Well, I'm not going to go there.
You can.
I was just going to say you can actually cuss today if you want to,
Oh no.
Why the heck not?
because we're not on radio. We're just on social media.
We probably need to notify a couple of our normal callers, send them a text message that
Yeah.
they can still call us.
Yeah.
You know, you got the list there.
Yeah, especially Theo. That
Especially
time he
Theo.
called the other radio station. Wonder what in the world was
Whoops.
going. That was not a good. And I wish I could have heard that.
Oh yeah, I heard about it. Oh my God, I heard about it. But
Because
whatever.
Theo would be a heck of a mouthpiece. And I'm telling you, he would be a heck of a
Ah,
mouthpiece.
you got that right.
If we had a board, I'd had to have him on it.
It's okay. We're going to be just fine.
Oh, we could be just
Yep.
honky dory.
Yeah.
We talked about the shooting yesterday
Yes.
from the day before.
Big breaking news on that.
Yeah, well, let me give you a little history first. We
Mhm.
discussed at length the tragic shooting at a high school in Georgia that happened Wednesday morning. 2 students, 2 teachers killed, 9 other people wounded. 14-year-old Colt Clay, a student at the school, arrested after a school resource officer confronted him at gunpoint. The boy is lucky to be alive. The teenager dropped his AR-style rifle on command and was ordered to the ground. He faces 4 counts of murder along with attempted murder charges, and authorities plan to try him as an adult. In the state of Georgia, yes, there is the death penalty, but the U.S. Supreme Court has said nobody under the age of 18 will be given the death penalty.
It's true.
Turns out, as we learned during the day, that the FBI was alerted to a threat last year of a school shooting, a possible school shooting being planned in another county in Georgia. The FBI notified the local sheriff's office, who interviewed Clay and his daddy. The dad admitted, yeah, I've got some guns for hunting, but he said his 13-year-old son did not have unsupervised access to any of the guns. Lie. That's the first time he lied, at least that he got caught at. Well, now daddy, 54-year-old Colin Gray, is under arrest, facing multiple charges in connection with his son's attack at the school, including 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children.
That's daddy.
That's Daddy.
Oh,
On
wow.
Thursday, yesterday, authorities said the older Gray knowingly allowed his son to possess a gun. You can't do that. The sheriff's office from last year, that was in Jackson County, Georgia, they have their investigative report. The FBI contacted them and said, "Will you go by and check this crap out?"
Mm-hmm.
And they did. And they filed a report. Well, the media has got hold of the report. Report was filed May 21st, 2023. Colt Gray, they listed him as a suspect, was 13 years old.
13.
About a threat on the messaging app Discord. Never heard of it, but I guess it's a popular thing with some video gamers. A middle school. Okay. When the police began questioning Colin, the father, he shared more about Gray's home life and the accusation, saying this is Bravo Sierra and a terrorist threat. That's what he said about the guys coming to see him, like the deputy saying, that's BS. It's nothing more than a terrorist threat.
Oh.
Then he said, his words, speaking of his son, Colt, he's going through a lot. Very difficult for him to go to school and not get picked on. Okay, here we go. The bullying.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly was right.
No, yeah, but I have some information to add to that when you're done.
Colin, the daddy tells the deputy that he and Colt's mom had gotten divorced and that they had been evicted from their home. Okay. In his words, speaking of Colt, he struggled at first with the separation. I've been taking him to school. He goes to Jefferson Middle School. He's been doing really good. The officer said, he told Colin, the daddy, about the severity of this whole complaint, how serious that he's taken it, and that they should take it just as seriously. He says that Colt knows how serious it is. Quote, trust me. Don't ever anybody, it's the first thing they say with trust me is
Yes.
watch out.
Right.
Daddy claims he's been up to the school multiple times, the report said, blames it on the other kids touching his son, and says Colt wanted to move out of the school district. Well, they did. They moved down to the next county. Colin then claims he keeps getting picked on and talks about the importance of gun safety. Okay. The deputy said, let me ask you this. Do you have any weapons in the house? I do. Are they accessible? The deputy asked. They are. I mean, there's nothing loaded, but they are. We do a lot of shooting. We do a lot of deer hunting. He shot his first deer this year. Like, I'm pretty much in shock. I'm PO'd, to be honest with you. I'm a little taken aback by the whole thing, but I can tell you this, I take that very serious, and so does he, as a matter of fact, according to Daddy. Then he said he was going to be mad with Colt if what the allegations are that he heard are true. Well, apparently didn't get mad enough, did he? Because he still had access to the guns, didn't he? And no, they were not locked away. He said, but he doesn't have access to them unless I'm there, supervised. Nope, that's not true.
National News added some information this morning, and it just really broke my heart. But the abuse that young man suffered at home,
Apparently.
yeah, it was more emotional than it was physical, but neighbors were saying that there were nights when the young man was standing outside crying and crying
Sure.
and crying and asking his daddy to let him back in the house, and that he would stay outside all night long because his dad locked him out.
Somebody called the law.
And
Did anybody call the law?
I
That's
don't
a
know.
great question.
This news story, I'm just telling you what I heard,
Yeah.
but then they said that
Neighbors don't have a right to be making much of any kind of complaint. Do you think that would happen? Obviously, it wouldn't happen.
well,
So,
I'm just bringing up the fact
Right.
that there's
yeah, it's a problem at home,
yes,
and somebody should
huge
have gotten
problem.
involved.
Right. Maybe
Where was-
they
where was
did.
Mama, she's there.
She had left,
I know that.
and I guess she left with the daughter.
But
Whatever.
she's still her son.
Oh, I understand that, but not everybody is bred to be a parent. So
Yeah, that's true.
not everyone can be a parent. But it was a lot of other stuff coming out about his family life that really, they said that he would go. He had not bathed in days because he was not allowed in the house.
No wonder he went to school. Maybe that was his only escape.
Could be.
Only time he got
I
fed.
think that
Maybe the only time he got fed.
I mean,
could
that's,
very well be.
yeah,
Could-
if,
I mean, we
if
don't
he got
know.
free lunch. Now
Right.
if he weren't getting free lunch, he had to pay for it. Probably didn't have money to buy it.
So many stories and so much more information yet to come out of all this, but it just kind of broke my heart listening to it this morning.
It's going
It's
to be a sad case. And
Yeah.
I expect a guilty plea. I don't expect.
He is due in court this morning.
Well, he's
Yeah,
going to plead
so-
not guilty now. The lawyers won't let him plead.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Until they can
Well,
make some
they have
kind
to
of
do
deal.
what they have to do. That's
Now,
their job.
I suspect also today there's going to be psychiatric counseling ordered.
Right.
Examination even to decide whether he can stand trial. Period. As anything.
That's a whole nother
Yep.
thing that's sad about it all, because what about the victims? What kind of justice do they get?
None.
So,
None. Zero. Those psychologically, that entire school is destroyed.
Right.
How do you deal with that?
Absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
guidance counselor's going to have to get a
Who-
whole bunch of people come in there,
Okay.
like Kelly and
Kids, who do you
and
trust?
I use her for an example. She's a therapist. They're gonna have to get a whole bunch of them people in
They
there.
don't
to
have
get-
many.
No, they don't.
There are not that many.
I
The
don't
entire
know.
state of Georgia to
No.
handle this thing.
No.
Then when you get down to the whole situation, you've got these kids, every one of them. Who are they going to trust? They couldn't trust their 14-year-old classmate, the guy who got up and walked out of the classroom without getting a permission slip, without asking permission, and then comes back with a gun. Who do you trust? The next kid that gets up to walk out of the classroom, what are you going to do?
Lock the
for
doors
cover?
and- yeah,
Call
exactly.
911?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
This-
want to know PTSD? You got
The
PTSD.
stories coming out of this with the students that are talking. I just, the horror of it all. It's so sad. It just,
Yeah.
to have such meanness in our world today.
And then, of course, Biden comes out, the first thing he does, Kamala does the same thing. You got to get rid of the guns. No,
Yeah.
you got to get rid of the people who can't control them.
Exactly.
You know,
And
what-
in this case, it was Daddy. Now
Yeah.
he's gotten rid of. Now he's gone. And I guarantee you, Daddy's going to be convicted.
Oh yeah.
There is no doubt about that. And ooh.
Why don't
They got some good
we
charges
work on
against him.
making this a better place to live? Why don't we work on, trying to bring people together instead of trying to divide them?
Yeah.
That's your answer right there.
One guy goes, "Let me put you this. Did you see you didn't see the pictures of the big old, I've described it to you, big old truck
Yes, I had to find that
that
picture.
I told you
talking
about
about,
before
yeah.
the show?
Yes.
I told you about that. Somewhere going down one of the interstates up in Virginia,
He was probably
He
working
had the bed up.
construction. Yeah.
and it hit some signs.
He had some signs.
So you blame every truck driver out there for that? Some people will.
They will. They will. I get.
How many truck drivers don't? Percentage-wise, how many truck drivers do not?
I just
drive
want to
like
know
that?
how that happened.
About 99%. It's
It's way up yonder.
you got when you're driving a truck, you got to pay attention to what you're doing. And like I said, I wasn't there, but this is what I believe happened. And I told you
You've
that
seen it
before
before.
there. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. I mean, I've gone down the interstate and looked, and there's a dump truck sitting over there with just a truck and the chassis,
Uh-huh.
and the bed sitting back yonder by the overpass
Uh-huh.
where he didn't bring it down fast enough.
Uh-huh.
And the overpass, he hit the overpass and knocked it off. Okay. There's also been times where you have a lever up and down,
Uh-huh.
and he didn't cut the PTO off. And when he brought the lever, he went to bring it down. It snapped back to up position. He's just taking off. He's not looking in his mirror, so it's just riding down the road like this. Seen that too. You've got to pay attention. It's going to, if you cut that PT off on those dump trucks and you put that position down, it's coming down. The PTO is not pumping.
It's the power takeoff, right?
Right. Power takeoff is not pumping. It
Yeah, I know a
gravity
little bit,
feeds
not
right
much.
back in it. And we got tiers, different cylinders within a cylinder,
Mhm.
and the smaller cylinder comes down the fastest, the biggest cylinder comes down the slowest.
Mhm.
And I have what I call it a dump wagon. I have to hook to sometime, haul rock, dirt, debris, what have you. And mine is what you call a frameless dump trailer. And when I go to dump it, I pull the trailer brake, I leave the truck brake off, and it dumps, and the truck actually backs up while it's dumping. And when you go to put it down, the truck actually goes forward while it's dumping. Now the trailer's not moving. And I jump out and I go back there to close the door. And I have seen the time where I've got in the truck and go down the road and I just reach over. We call it a tower.
Mhm.
Oh, I still got it in the down position. But I always
Oops.
cut the PTO off. It's not going to hurt anything. But I forgot to take it down. It's just a little thing
Right.
that you may not do. I also have a trailer where the airbags, I deflate them before I load or unload a piece of equipment on it. And I have seen the time where I have gotten my truck to take off after I've loaded it. And I start going down the road. I pull over. Did I flip that button back up or raise the air up or not?
Say whoops.
So, yeah. So I stop on the side of the road, make sure I flip the button because I weren't thinking.
All right, guys, you can give us a call. We're on Facebook and YouTube only. We're nowhere else, just our little home away from home.
Yeah.
So if you want to chat this morning, feel free to do so. We're wide open, 910-333-0139. 910-333-0139. That's the number to call. As it has been, as it always will be, that is our number. It belongs to no one else.
It's our
Yeah.
number.
Our
That's
number.
right.
And that was done for a reason. You can
That's
also still, if you want us to call you, not a problem. Lee's got an email address. It's called leecbarrows@gmail.com. And she's also got a telephone number. And you don't call her on it. Send her a text message. We don't want to hear our phones ringing here in the studio. And just send her a text message at 910-330-0222.
Correct.
Got it?
All right.
Okay.
I had to stop and think.
910-330-0222.
You know, I've had that same number for over 30 years.
Yeah, I've had mine for about the same time.
And I haven't
My
known
cell
it but a
number.
few. Ain't that something? See, I have been missing out for 30 years. I didn't have your number.
You were calling the number, but you just didn't know who you were
I
calling.
didn't
You
know
were
I was
random
calling.
dialing.
Yeah,
wasn't
I was random dialing.
you? So, give us a
Tim,
call.
Tim,
We
Tim.
we can talk about pretty much anything, as we will, as we always have, and as we always will.
That's right.
How's that sound? Okay. We don't have any real commercial breaks, but we are going to do a commercial break, sort of, kind of, maybe.
Yes.
It's called Weather. Your marine weather forecast is brought to you by Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville. We too often hear of tragic events involving young people, whether it's a mass shooting or suicides, young people barely in their teens. We shake our heads and wonder what went wrong. No doubt, as you mature, you think back at the kids you were in school with. Perhaps you thought some of your classmates acted kind of strange. Perhaps they were loners. Perhaps they were bullied, or maybe they were the ones doing the bullying.
Right.
I can remember one back in the first grade. He had been held back a year from the first grade, and therefore he was a year older than everybody else in the first grade, and he was a year bigger. He was a bully. Ever wonder what happened to them? Maybe they're long forgotten these days. Maybe you don't even remember. If I can remember one in the first grade in 1954 from now, and I even remember his first name, I don't remember his last name, Tommy.
It's always a Tommy.
I guarantee some of y'all do.
Yeah,
It's always a Tommy.
I had an Alvin in the fourth grade, but I
Tommy
cured
boy.
that one.
See, all of y'all, we've got them. Hopefully, all turned out fine for them. Hopefully, they matured as they got older. Hopefully, they did so without getting into too much trouble. As adults, you've certainly become more aware of odd behavior, maybe among your own kids or their friends way back when. At some point in time, all of us need to realize that a lot of people need a little intervention. In the case of your own kids, it's a little easier. Maybe not real comfortable, but if you're seeing odd behavior, you might give some thought to reaching out to Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville. They have trained counselors with a lot of experience and they're talking. They know how kids. Maybe you'll want 910-353-0972. 910-353-0972. Offshore today, small craft advisory remains in effect through this afternoon. It's going to get a little less worse tomorrow. Northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots today, 4 to 6 foot seas, 2 to 3 near shore, but choppy. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop tomorrow. Northeasterly winds 5 to 10, seas 3 to 4, about 2 feet near shore, looking much more better. And sounds and rivers a light chop. I took English. I did good at English. Sunday, northeasterly winds 15 to 20 with gusts to 25, diminishing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 5, 2 to 3 near shore. Sounds and rivers choppy, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon.
And our local weather today, partly sunny with a high near 83, north wind around 7 miles per hour. Tonight, a chance of showers in the early evening, mostly cloudy with a low around 68. Saturday, a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a high near 79. And Sunday, partly sunny with a high near 78. Fake fall.
Yeah, it's going to come back. We used to call this, I think, was this Indian summer or something? Is that what we had? Can we even say that anymore?
It's called
We
fake
can say anything
weather.
we want to, can't we?
Trust it.
Yeah, you can say
Why isn't your mic on?
it. All right.
Talk a little bit louder.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
I don't know where you went, but you're back. Royce Bennett's joining us. How you doing?
Good morning. If you're gonna make this a TV show, we're gonna have to figure out how to get everybody turned around facing the camera.
No, we're just going to put more cameras
Be
in
like
here.
Carolina Today was.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, we're just going to add a couple more cameras around here, and then
I'll
just
see
then
the
give me something I'll have to punch up extra buttons on, like I don't have enough to do.
Yeah, then you have to switch the camera. You have to hire a producer, right, to do that kind of stuff.
Well, that's your job.
I need another job.
Already got you down. Get you and Paul Buchanan. Yep, that'll be the assistant producer, and then we'll put Tim Foster in there, something chairman of the board. So,
He can be the director. He can
Direct,
point
yeah,
when
they can
you're on
point,
the camera.
and we can point to him too if we want to with the other thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Tim's a good guy.
Oh, I think we're Tim.
Royce, appreciate you coming in. Salvation Army, Royce, and wearing red today.
That's right.
Appropriate day to have you in here.
Wore my Salvation Army shirt
There you
today.
go. We're coming up to deadline is today, y'all. Got it? Y'all need, I think it's today, right?
It's actually tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
But
okay.
yeah, it was the 7th. So you got one more day.
All right,
So
today and tomorrow, if you think you can cook, or if you've ever wanted to think you could cook, if you were a good cook, even if you're a professional cook, bring it on. Let's
or a
get
bad cook. I don't care.
bad cook. You know, and if you can sing while you're cooking, that's even better. Sing along with chef.
Cannot let Rayford run away with this thing. We got to give him some competition.
I don't even want to run away with it. I want the competition. Because, you know, here's the thing is, I get to go out there and sample all the other food just like all of y'all do. And I don't want to go home hungry. So I'm going to be sampling all the food that's there. So I want some good people there who can cook.
If they don't want to win, he can just disqualify himself
No.
and let somebody else win and still cook.
I kind of did that
can do that.
yesterday.
Yeah.
See, that would not be fair competition because let's just say they won. And they won. And they say, well, you know what? You need to go. If you don't win against Bobby Flay, if
I love Bobby
if he
Flay.
just concedes and gives it to you, that's not much of a competition. You
Yeah.
can't feel good about it, can you?
Yeah, we
Well,
got
see?
to keep it fair.
We can do a big thing like beat Rayford. Beat
There you go.
Rayford.
There
See
you
if you
go.
can
Grudge
beat
match.
Rayford.
Now, be careful how you say beat
Yeah.
Rayford. I don't.
Just do a grudge match.
I
Yes.
think Mr. Ribb's going to give him a
I hope
run
so.
for his money this year.
I'm
Yeah.
going to eat all the ribs he's got,
Yep.
though. Come on, Philip.
Yeah, some good stuff.
Mr. Rib is on.
Yes, I'm hoping
His team is Elder McRib.
Elder McRib.
Yeah.
I love
yeah.
it.
Oh, he's
Elder
got all
McRib.
people with experience, right?
I think he's an elder in his church.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I'll be Elder Brown. How's that?
There you go.
I'm-
You can do that.
If he comes in wearing a collar, and the big cross, we're done. We're done. Because
Oh,
people
yeah.
always vote for the Christmas parade. You know how you can enter the amateur division or the professional division.
Mhm.
It's always the winner is always somebody dressed up.
Well, there
With
was
a
one.
wreath on their head
there was-
and nothing but a diaper
There was
on.
one year they had
I'm
some
not lying.
competition. There was one year they had some competition there. The pole dancers.
Oh, that's right.
I'll never forget that. I was
Oh,
actually
that's-
watching that live on TV, and they come down the street, and I was like,
I was there.
We got a team called Outlaw Hogs.
Ooh, I bet you I know what they're gonna be doing. They're gonna be
We got
doing
one
some
called Pasta Benares.
Oh, I like that
it's a
too.
macaroni and cheese dish. Go
Oh.
ahead. We got them beat.
Pacific Gold. Try to guess that one.
Uh-oh.
Huh?
That's
Yeah.
probably that.
Okay.
Oh, we got the Lumpia Lady. Hey,
The what?
Lumpia Lady.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we're talking Lumpia here.
I'm ready now. Let's
We got
go.
some fine dishes this year, huh?
Yeah.
And we got the Wheezy Chip.
What do
The Wheezy Chip. I have no idea.
I'm scared.
Easy chip.
The Wheezy Chip
Um,
says tacos. So
Taco.
yeah.
Got it.
So
I can
I
do that
mean,
too.
look, where else? I mean, good gracious, yeah.
You can.
What a variety. I mean, yeah,
Now, for those of you still out there, you've got a whole week to prepare a dish.
that's
But
right.
you've got
That's
until
right.
tomorrow to get your entry in.
Right. We
Okay.
just got to get the names.
Registration.
We got to know who's going to be.
And what's coming? Because you got to put it on the
We,
big billboards.
well, yeah, and we print it on a ticket so people can go by and check you off
There you go.
when you try their dish. So, yeah, and
That's what we need, folks.
well, we have Steve. He's writing us a jingle. He doesn't know it yet, but Steve, we volunteered you yesterday if you didn't hear us.
Well, why don't you send him a text and say we want to hear the jingle for men who cook. Simmer down.
Simmer down. The team, simmer
I
down,
bet
Steve. That's your homework.
Steve can cook too.
I'll guarantee you he can. do it.
Yeah, I bet he can cook. He
Well,
knows to
he-
cook.
He performs at enough restaurants.
I
We,
don't know. I don't know if that's going to work out with us having to look at each other in the same room.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Is it that ugly?
I don't know.
No.
He's probably
wear a
I
mask.
just meant
he's probably working Saturday night, but he's not working.
I
He
just
really ought to be competing
Well,
for.
he could cook and send a proxy in, right?
I guess he could. Yeah,
Yes.
Why not?
Yeah.
A member of the team.
that's right. Send somebody on
There you
on the
go.
team.
yeah, Steve. You're
Steve,
listening.
no
What do you cook?
excuses. No excuses, Steve.
That's right.
Send him a text. Tell him we want to talk to him. We need to talk to Theo too.
We got some great sponsors for next
yeah?
week too. Yeah, South State Development and Golden Corral are gold
Oh.
level sponsors.
Billy's not competing, is he?
No, Billy's not sending food. He needs to though. I think he needs to send some food.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got me. Me and Anwasa and
What?
Jones Onslow EMC are our sponsors.
Oh, I thought y'all were
No.
competing. And I was
No,
like,
we're silver level sponsors.
Let's check, see who the caller is. Good morning. Who's this?
That's Steve.
Hey, good morning,
Hey,
guys.
Steve.
Jeez.
How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well.
The liberal jingle cook guy. So you're gonna
Did
cook.
you
You're
hear
gonna be
us?
off that weekend, right?
You got
I'm not. I don't have any weekends off. I got some 1 or 2 days in October, and
well, we can't postpone it.
season starts.
You can still write us a jingle.
Why don't you cook? Well, we'll get to the jingle, but you could do some cooking. You got all week long to get it done, and send one of your team members that you can sign up. You can send your team member over there to serve it.
I'll hear you.
I tell you what, Steve, I need three more cooks. I'll pay your entry fee if you'll
Uh-oh,
sign
there
up
you
and
go.
send something.
Oh,
you
my
can
goodness.
you can
Oh,
pull a
baby.
George Jones, and we'll be singing No Show Jones at wherever you're supposed to play.
I got. When is it again? Is it this Saturday?
It's next Saturday, the 14th.
14.
Next Saturday. 14th. I'll look at my calendar. I was going to say I got double shows this Saturday, so I know I couldn't do it, but I'll look at it and see if maybe I can do work
You
something out.
called me. I said, I said, my number is 910-389-9638.
I'll
And when
give
you
it
can't
to you.
remember, when you can't remember that, just text Lee and she'll send it to you.
The
I
first,
was
Or I
gonna
was-
say,
or
I'll
I'll
hit
send it
Lee
to you.
up and get it from her, because
Yeah.
I done forgot it already.
Yeah.
the
I
first
got the
three
number.
people,
I got the last four.
I'll pay the entry fee for 3 more people. The first
Really?
3 people to call me, I'm gonna pay their $25. So
Oh, that is awesome. That is
Yep.
awesome.
If you come, we
I
may
got
even sponsor you. How about that? I'll give you $5.
there you go.
A box of macaroni and cheese doesn't cost that much.
You just go by there and you put a ticket into his little bucket.
My granddaddy would get up out of the grave and hit me for sponsoring a liberal, but I'll be glad. My daddy would. Now my daddy would be like, "No, yeah, let me give 5 to you." By the way,
I was gonna say,
I'm picking
I was
on
gonna say something. I was
Okay.
gonna say something I think y'all would thoroughly enjoy is hearing me and Theo have a conversation, because y'all would hear a side of me y'all never get to hear, where I argue from a conservative point of view.
I couldn't handle
Oh,
it.
my God.
Well, I can do either
Wouldn't that be
way.
Well, if we
interesting?
knew Theo was listening right now, I have got a way to put him on the air too. But if I knew he would,
Oh, wow.
if he would take the call, because I could call him and put the 2 of you on the air.
I
Maybe,
got you,
maybe
I got
we'll do that one
But
day
yeah,
next week.
him and I have conversations sometimes over hour long,
Yeah.
talking about different issues. And
And you fight.
something I didn't know about, I found out was interesting, is Theo is for the death penalty and I'm against it, which I thought
Yeah.
was an odd thing.
What?
I'm
That is-
sitting here like, what the heck?
He's not as hardcore as you think he is. I mean, he'll call me out of the blue, and we'll just sit there and chit chat. If a county commissioner comes in and he calls in and bashes them, he'll call me. What do you think about that? I got him good, didn't I? And I can picture him sitting out on the front porch with his coffee cup, just sitting there talking. Yeah, I got him good. I got him good. How's Theo doing? And how, he'll talk about the donkey for a while. And I love it when he calls me. I don't call him much in the morning, because I don't know if he's asleep or he's just getting off of work and he's
Well,
tired.
he's woke, so he's all right.
Oh, yeah. But I love picking
He's
on
a
him.
woke.
But I'm the type of person, if you're liberal, I'm gonna pretend I'm a conservative. If you're conservative, I'm gonna pretend I'm a liberal. I do that just to strike up conversations. And I'll tell them, I said, well, I'm a liberal. I want you to change my mind, and I will start. And good gracious, my wife would just get up and walk away. She can't stand it.
Honestly, I see it pop up on my caller ID, and it makes me smile before I even answer the phone when he calls.
Here we go.
Yeah, I do too.
And honestly, when we talk to each other, we agree on it as well. Is everybody is both conservative and liberal, depending on what you're talking about.
You're absolutely
topic
right.
is.
I've never found anybody that was completely conservative,
No.
except the ones that are just like and are liberal.
Yeah.
Is the only ones are the ones that are just like brainwashed. They're just throwing out talking points. They're not even thinking.
It's either that or they're just liars.
Yeah, I throw them in the AOC gang.
Everybody who thinks comes down, on different sides of different issues, but like I say, with him, it's a very fun or very interesting conversations we go through. We had a very lengthy conversation last week about banning AR-15s. I'm so saddened about the events that came out this week, but I'm sure he and I will have a further conversation about that. I'm totally against banning any of these weapon platforms.
I agree with you. I've got a couple of things, the add-ons that I have issues with, and it's not high capacity magazines. The issues that I have are fairly simple. Bump stocks, no,
Yes.
they serve no purpose except to burn up ammo and make you think you've got a machine gun. That, it's there, and that's the only reason they do it. It's a fully automatic weapon. You can't control it. You waste up a lot of bullets anyway,
Well, and I would agree that there's certain things that, like the bump stocks, no, that's circumventing the law.
Yep.
Is what you're doing. Just like a crank handle on a 22 rifle, the little crank handles that turn them into rapid fire.
The first really rapid fire gun, it was a TV gun. Did you know what that was? It was on a show called The Rifleman. It was a lever action 30-30 Winchester, and on the lever there was a screw that was inset. When you cock a weapon, the trigger is engaged, and when you bring that thing back down and the screw that is put at the right spot to go up against the trigger, it depresses the trigger, it goes bang. Then you got to cock it again and pull it fast. And if you could do it fast, like Chuck Connors could do it, the rifleman, if you could do it as fast as he could do it, you could sound it like a machine gun.
Yeah.
The world record for a lever action rifle right now stands at 10 rounds in 1.5 seconds.
Right.
I looked it up yesterday, as a matter of fact, just to make sure I was clear on that.
Wow.
But that was one thing me and Theo talked about, is I explained to him that I wouldn't care if they got rid of the AR-15 if it would have the effect that he thinks it's going to have. But that gun store, when they pull all them AR-15s off that wall, they're not going to go out of business. They're going to put another weapon platform right
It's
back in
gonna
that
be right
same
there.
spot.
Yep.
And when the crazy person comes in there, they're just going to pick from that bouquet of weapons instead of what was, what had the AR-15 in it. The reason the AR-15 is so popular is because it's the most popular weapon platform for sports shooters. And that's why every gun store carries it. Just like if you're going to get a 22 semi-automatic, it's probably going to be a Ruger 1022.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
the
much.
most popular one, or a Marlin, or the Marlin version. So, when me and him had that conversation, man, it's an interesting thing because I've got a lot of facts and data that says, you can change in the game of Clue, it don't matter if it's the candlestick, the pistol, or, what weapon it is. It was Colonel Mustard in the library, and I explained to Theo that it don't matter what you put on that wall, it's not going to make a homicidal maniac sane.
Back
They're not going to walk into that gun store and all of a sudden, because there's not that particular weapon there, it's going to cure their psychosis.
Back in the 70s, when I was in law enforcement, the first go around, we were issued revolvers, and I chose to buy my own because the stuff that we were issued in those days were surplus, came from civil defense, and sometimes they even fired, but most of the time they did not. That's just the way it was. The department did not issue you a gun. You came in and you checked out one of their guns, and then you turned it in when you left. So you didn't even know what gun you were going to get each day. Now, that's not for me. I bought my own, as did most of the people in those days. I chose a Model 19 Smith & Wesson 357 Magnum. Okay, you know what it is. And on the range, because I was a little bit different, I reloaded ammo. And I loaded and fired 500 rounds every week. 38 specials I loaded because I didn't want to fire 357. They got to be expensive.
Yeah, those are.
But firing the 38 specials, I'd go through 500 rounds in a week, and that usually only 2 days of shooting. Just 2 days. Now, when we were firing, it's ready on the right, ready on the left, all ready on the firing line, fire. Does that sound familiar, Royce?
Yeah.
It sounds like a familiar
Heard that a few
command.
times. Yeah.
So we would all draw and fire and holster. Well, I was not fast, but I holstered my weapon after firing 6 rounds in 2.5 seconds. Draw, fire 6 rounds, center of mass, and you holster your weapon. That to me, I thought was fast, but I wasn't fast, as it turned out. That's not that far back from being dang near semi-automatic or being automatic, right? 6 rounds in 2.5 seconds. That's 2 rounds a second. So anyway, what's good? The stuff in. Do you think that Daddy should be held accountable as the law enforcement people there in Georgia are doing right now?
I do, but I would have to know all the facts of the situation before I thought how accountable that person should be held.
Okay. Did you hear the part that I said this morning about the interview a year ago that he had with the sheriff's deputies, investigators?
I did not hear that.
Okay. Here's what's come out. They released the recording, or at least the transcript of the recording that the deputies made when they were interviewing the dad and interviewing young Colt a year ago in May. Daddy said, yeah, I got guns in the house when he was asked. I've got guns in the house. But does he have access to them? No. He doesn't have any unsupervised access to the guns. Not that they were locked up. but he does not have any unsupervised access to the guns. Now, this is a kid, by all accounts, had made on something called Discord, some kind of a site, one of those stupid sites, no doubt about it, had made a threat, not a direct threat, but a veiled threat about a shooting at a sub school in that county, Jefferson County or Jackson County, whatever it was, Georgia. And they caught him. I mean, they caught him at it. They didn't have enough to charge him with, according to the deputies. The FBI didn't charge him. They didn't have enough. Daddy knew that this kid was a troubled kid and admitted that he was a troubled kid, but he had access to AR, at least one AR. Excuse me? Really?
Yeah,
That's just as
that's pretty
responsible.
incriminating.
Okay.
I got to say that for that parent not to have taken additional precautionary steps
Oh,
to
that's you.
secure those weapons, knowing that there was a possible issue.
Yeah.
I hate to be an after action report type person, but obviously they was failures.
I had to wait.
They were failures on it sounds like on law enforcement and on the parents' part.
I had to wait for this
I used to have
report to come out before I had to make any decisions. And I made those decisions when I read this report yesterday. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Dude, you got a problem.
Now, let me tell you, the Salvation Army doesn't care if you're liberal or conservative. If you need help, the Salvation Army is going to be there to help you.
One way or the other.
Our bronze level sponsors are the NAACP and Duke Energy, and we have
Amazing.
sponsors for the participant level: Gloria Goodwin, Johnny and Susan Thomas, and Dennis Kilfoy. And
Okay.
you know who Gloria Goodwin is?
Yes.
Gloria's
Read it.
yeah. She just got the Order of Longleaf Pine.
You're right. From the governor.
Right, from the governor just a few
That's a
weeks
big
ago.
deal.
Yeah, we got a lot of great people that are helping with the Salvation Army, and what I love about them is, the Salvation Army is there when your need is there.
Mm-hmm.
The government, I've seen it happen over, hurricane, tornado.
Right.
The government gets there eventually, hopefully, maybe. The Salvation Army's there today. The day I say a lot of times I got in this bad habit many years ago of eating 3 times a day, and when the other relief organizations tell me, okay, I'll take your application and we'll let you know in a few days. The
What am I gonna
Salvation
do?
Army is going to let you eat today.
Yeah, right now.
And that's why I support the Salvation Army, and I'm looking forward to our event next week. This is a big event for us. We only have 2 really fundraising events.
Bell ringers.
We do the bell ringing, and these sponsors are going to get to sponsor one of our bell ringing locations.
I got one more thing here. I'm going to volunteer Steve for something else. Steve, you ready? Sit down.
Oh, here we go. I know it's.
You need to come over and represent Live and Local, and we'll be there to support you. And you bring your guitar, and you get outside and you sing and ring the. You sing, we'll ring the bell. How's that?
There you go.
We'll pick a day and
There
do
you
it.
go.
Is the challenge
Get
there?
with me, man. Y'all know I like to support stuff like that. Y'all seen me.
I know that.
Yes, he has. He's been there.
All right. Well, I've got your number. You can't get lost now.
Oh, boy.
yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, on the whole debate over stuff like this, man, it's sad, and honestly, I
It's so
hate to even
sad.
talk about it so soon.
I do too,
You know,
but
but
it's there.
I've told Theo the same thing, is that everybody kind of gets focused on things other than the obvious issue, man. We have a real mental health issue in this country. I don't know how we would go about solving it, but that's what the conversation needs to be about. That's the logical, that's what the problem is. You know? And
We have to go back to institutions.
even we're talking about the kid getting up and walking out of
absolutely
class
need to.
abruptly and without permission.
Yeah.
On that day, there
There's a
probably was
sign.
over 100 kids across this country that did the exact same thing. And if
Yeah.
you talk about a kid leaving campus without permission, that's skipping school. There's probably thousands of kids across this country that did that day.
Now, put yourself at the age of 14. if you can remember back that
Yeah.
far. I can, so you should be able to. Put yourself in going to school today, any school, but especially there in Georgia at that school. Put yourself there, and some kid gets up and decides, without asking permission, without getting a checkout slip, without getting anything, just gets up and leaves. How are you going to feel? What's going to be going through your mind?
I've done that before, Razor.
I know
I've got
that.
up and walked out of a class before. So, I mean, that's the first thing that popped in my mind is I did that. And I didn't want to be there. It wasn't that I was going to do anybody harm.
Can I ask you this
So,
question?
I mean, how we would ever distinguish,
But I'm saying,
taking that needle out of that
yeah.
haystack.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
put yourself in the other kids in the classroom's shoes
Yeah.
after
They probably
the
didn't
events.
think much of it. I mean, once they walked out, they probably just thought they were.
No. Today, not day before yesterday.
Oh, today? Oh, they're
Today.
terrified. They're
Yes.
terrified.
That's the
I
scary
would
part of
think.
this whole
Yeah.
mess.
Well, see, when I was in school,
Yeah, they didn't let us walk out.
well, if you got up to walk out, the first thing the teacher wanted to know is, where are you going? Why are you
If
leaving?
you got up to walk out, you better be walking to the principal's
Right,
office
and
because that's where you're
because
going.
anyway,
We'll be
Yeah.
one way or the
And
other.
so I don't know what kind of, and I use this, I'm not trying to use this term on purpose. I don't know what kind of politics are going through the schools now, but you were supposed that's what teachers did. And I'm talking about it was from the little petite female teachers up to the football and baseball coaches. Where are you going? Where do you know? Here's Miss Charlotte Huffman's favorite line. Where do you think you're going?
That's it.
And that's my,
Mhm.
did they act? Of course, they probably wouldn't have said nothing, just walked out the door. But I don't know about now, but they had monitors back then, and all the teacher had to do was go to the wall and hit a button. And then the officer say, can I help you? Yes, I just had a student to walk out of this class. So who was it? And they tell it. But now I don't know what's going on with schools nowadays. I don't go in them. So I know things change. I still believe that some of the teachers should go to weapons class during the summer and get certified to tote a gun in the school. And I believe in that. Because resource officer
would
can't be
say-
everywhere.
I would say, Tim, if you do that, there's inevitably going to be a problem arise out of that. That's just the Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
So but I agree. As far as they used to have the intercom system,
Yes, sir.
I would think in this day and time that they could at least set up some of those little family radios where they could have constant communication with the
Right.
SRR or
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Well, that school
Yeah,
had an
the
alert
sheriff on
button.
campus.
Yeah, they did.
where they could
Okay.
immediately pick it up and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, I just have same thing, but straight to the SRO."
All right, now
You know,
hot
and-
off the presses. You ready for this one?
Oh no.
Forget about Daddy. Let me tell you about Marcy Gray, the mama.
Oh no. The story gets
The 43-year-old has faced prosecution in Barrow, Fulton, and Forsyth counties, accused of domestic violence, drug possession, property damage, and traffic violations. She's also faced
Doesn't
civil
surprise
fraud
me.
claims related to a vehicle purchase and was in jail in Benkill County as recently as this past April. No wonder she got divorced, or she was divorced.
these kids never stood a chance,
You
did they?
did not, no.
It sounds like this kid may have had a less than fair home life.
Agree.
Yep.
But I would put out there that there's a lot of people who didn't have a good home life.
Oh, yeah.
And do things like this.
At most,
Yeah,
this
most
is-
will not.
This is
Most just,
neither one a haystack.
Yep.
It's what you make of yourself which 14 is not grown. But it's what you know,
Right.
you can live with two drunks and you can turn out not to be a drunk, or you can turn out to be a drunk.
Mhm.
Well, you were taught this when you were growing up. Well, I choose not to do that, or the person chooses not to do that, and they go on and make something of themselves. You can take a bad thing and turn it into a lesson, or you can take a bad thing and turn it into a mistake. That's the way I put it.
Yeah, but I'm
Right,
sure that
right.
people surrounding you that see the need to be there for you would help you in cases like that.
Yeah,
But
well, I had.
if there's no one else
yeah.
willing to step in, you're doomed.
Yeah, it was just like I had a good childhood, but it's like my situation. I had people in my neighborhood, and I'll mention three. I had Willie Jarman, old man Willie Jarman, what we called him. I had W.C. Jarman. I had Doodle Jarman. I had Bud Herman Jarman. I had Clifford Padrick.
You live in
Earl
Germantown, didn't you?
Yeah, well, we called it Thomastown. But I had Earl and Kenneth Thomas, and I had Coop Thomas, and I had, my grandfather. We were all good. I mean, they were just, they had their times, but we listened to them. Yeah. And we listened to them because back then, if I'd done something in their yard and I weren't supposed to do it, they grabbed me, tore my tail up. It wasn't a question that you can't hit my child. If he's in your yard, you burn him down. And that's the way it was when I was raised. And you were scared to do something because you're going to get your tail tore up.
Twice.
Yeah, twice. Because when they called daddy, you were going to the corn crib or you were going somewhere. Yeah, we had a corn crib. We didn't have a woodshed. But you went to the corn crib and got your tail tore up.
Ooh.
And that's just the way it is.
Right.
And I go back, it's the parents. I blame the parents for some of the things that's going on with these kids nowadays because I was reared different. Yeah, I could be mean, and I have been mean in my past life. But if you were raised decent, you got a choice when you grow up. Do you want to be decent or do you want to be mean? It's your choice. And now I believe that wholeheartedly. I've seen some people in some abusive homes that turned out to be very wealthy, very calm. I've seen them turn out to be preachers. I've seen them turn out to be congressmen. Yeah, so I really believe you can get some bad influences, and I don't think he was old enough to turn himself around looking at it. But I'm just saying, school starts at home. Yeah. School
Everybody's
starts at home.
responsible for the choices they make every day.
Yeah, exactly.
And the choices you made yesterday do not dictate the choices you make today.
Right.
But the way you think and your desires, they may make you make the same mistake over and over again.
Exactly.
Don't do anything today that you're going to regret tomorrow, the next day, or at some time in the future, at any time in the future, even if it's kind of minor. Because at some point in time, that stupid posting you put on Facebook or YouTube or wherever,
That's going to resurface.
yeah, and your future employer is going to say, well, let me ask you this, Royce, you're applying for a job here. What did you mean when you wrote down there that society sucks and you wish the government would fall off the earth? What do you mean by that? So that's the kind of thing that y'all who are young enough and even older people do not understand. If you got anything back there in your Facebook history, you may want to go eliminate it.
Exactly.
It's almost like we're fortunate that we got grown before that Facebook was there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I didn't have a chance to put that
Aren't we glad of that?
I mean,
Yes.
I was old enough to understand that that stuff don't go away.
I was in the biker patch.
I didn't get Facebook till my son was
I
in
had-
college.
I had MySpace.
Yeah, I remember
my daughter
MySpace.
had
Yeah,
MySpace.
I had Facebook
MySpace.
for 2 years.
Yeah.
I
And the
didn't
people
want
kept
it.
sending me message, you need to join Facebook. And I'm like, what's that? I have MySpace.
Well, I had MySpace, but I used it to sell my commercial photography. That's all I did with. I posted a bunch of pictures up there, and I got business out of it.
Right.
You talking about
I always tell people I'm the Ted McGinney of social media. Do you know who he is?
So I could
beginning.
sign back into MySpace.
He was an actor through the late 70s, early 80s that went on a bunch of TV shows, and he was the one that they always got canceled after they brought him on.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
He was on Love Boat, and they canceled that, and he was on like several other little shows like that, and shortly, whatever season they brought him on was their last season.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
Kiss of death.
I'm
There we
going
go.
around.
I went on MySpace, and just as soon as I got mine set up, everybody else left.
I can understand that too. Steve, thanks for the
Well,
call
to
this
get over
morning.
here, I
And,
took up so much y'all's time.
well, nope.
I will say that when I heard the news, that the first two things I thought of, Lee, too, is that now you could cuss, and that I had to write a new song.
I want this song. Okay,
I promise
bud, listen up. We want a jingle that we can promote next week for Simmer Down is the team. The Salvation Army. Ben Hook.
I'm gonna think about it and see if I can come up with
Oh,
something.
you
But
can do it.
that's a quick turnaround.
Oh, you did the other one overnight.
Yeah, do the
Yeah,
simmer,
we
do the
did.
simmer down with the same tune as Abilene. I bet that'd be good. Simmer
Simmer
down, simmer down. You can start it like that. I mean, I do some of mine with that. It's an easy tune.
Yeah, I have to be
something with.
careful because if I was going to have to, I had to be careful if I give them a jingle.
Yeah.
I can't use somebody else's music in it.
Right.
That makes it, yeah, I can't use another melody line.
And
Right.
think of a name for your team while you're at it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
put Theo as your
I got
cooking
you. Here you
partner.
go.
Yeah, he's going to show up with Theo, and then we're doomed.
Strumming hot stuff.
Now, him and I would make a good team, I think.
You would be fighting the whole
A
time.
pot of boiling water.
There you go.
Just leave the knives at home. No carving on the set.
It's how we season the water that
So, we
counts.
can't have nothing but butter knives and plastic forks.
There you go. And welcome to TSA. I'll be out there with the camera just in case
No, we're in trouble.
to catch the evidence.
Well, y'all have a blessed weekend.
You too.
Where are you playing?
Tonight I'm up in Moorhead at Floyd's, 1921, I think the name of it. And then tomorrow I'm at the 34 North twice. There's a
really?
charity benefit, the Tower to the Tunnels. They're
Yes,
having
Tower to the
culmination
Tunnels. We're going to talk
from,
about that.
11 to 3 at 34 North there. And then I play again tomorrow night at 34 North. And Sunday, gracious, drawing a blank at where I'm at on Sunday.
You refer to your calendar. That's what I have to do.
Yeah. When I start thinking about it, there's so many on there, it kind of runs together a little bit.
Mhm.
But
So,
yeah, busy weekend.
When you
Busy
said
weekend.
11,
Sunday, I'm at British General. I'm at British General Store at the Food Line,
Oh, yeah.
Emerald Isle Plantation there in Emerald Isle.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, when you said 11 to 3 at at 34 North, I think, what are you coming on late and staying till real early? What's that about? And then you straighten it out.
Yeah, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. there. They got, and I'm going to have what Jay's cooking food truck there and stuff.
Okay, that's
It's,
tomorrow?
Great charity. Yes, sir.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, y'all have a blessed weekend.
You
Chat with you
too.
next week. Oh, Steve's a good guy. Our station ID is us. Welcome to Facebook and YouTube, and it's called Live and Local Real Talk. And you want to join the Real Talk, give us a call. You're welcome, 910-333-0139.
Yes.
Let's get back to,
Men Who Cook.
for people just tuning in, here you go. You got today and tomorrow to get signed up. How can they do it? They can do it online, I'm sure.
Yes, you can do it online,
Okay.
and it's on your Facebook page
Yes.
where y'all are watching right now.
That's
Or I think they posted my phone number. Did you
Probably.
put my phone number up
you
there.
just gave it out.
I just
to
gave out my
everybody,
phone
so
number.
I figured, okay.
963-8.
If you want to, if I'll pay the first 3 people that call me, I'll pay their entry fee. So if you want to cook, but you don't want to pay the entry fee, you call me 910-389-9638. And if you want me to sell your house, I'll do that too. But I won't get into that.
We'll do that next week.
What's it? Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll work on that later. But
Alrighty then.
I'm gonna give you my history of Salvation Army.
okay.
Uh-oh.
I was driving for SD's Express Line. This guy wanted me to team with him. Great guy, great Christian guy. And we started teaming together. So we had many conversations. And he was talking about church. And I said, well, where do you go to church at? He said, Salvation Army. I said, do what now? Because I didn't know much about the side. I knew they showed up at Christmas and you donated money to help, and they all helped. I said, you go to church at Salvation Army? He said, yeah. He said, son, it's a church. He said, it's actually a church. I said, well, and he talked about it, and I learned more about it. And every year I would come along Christmas time, they had a different kind of drive, and I'd hand out money to him. And his name was John Jackson. He was a great guy. Bless his heart. He passed away out in. He retired, and he passed away out in his front yard, doing what he liked to do, which was taking care of his yard. But now he taught me a lot about Salvation Army. It opened up my eyes, and I hadn't realized just how strong Salvation Army was until I got to meet him. And we teamed together for a year, but it was amazing.
The Salvation Army's been around for 150, 200 years. Started in England. William Booth. He saw that you can't help somebody's spiritual needs if you don't meet their physical needs.
Right.
People can't think about spiritual things if they're hungry. And Yep. And he started right out in London, ringing a bell on the side of the road, trying to raise money to
Is that
help
how it
people.
started?
That is
In
how it
London?
started. Yeah,
That's
in
what he
London.
told me.
At least something
And-
came out of London.
They're two separate sides. There is the church side and
Yep.
the nonprofit side.
Nonprofit side.
And our fundraisers to support the nonprofit, our money that we raise will go to help people right here in our community. And the church is self-supporting. We have the thrift store over in the
Mhm.
Triangle, Salvation Army Family Store. All the proceeds from the thrift store go into
I've been
helping
in there.
people right here in our
Mhm.
local community. The stories I hear about the Salvation Army are I've had World War II veterans tell me that that other organizations were out trying to sell them coffee and donuts when they were hungry, and the Salvation Army was there giving it away, giving them free coffee and donuts, and dozens and dozens of people tell me how at some point in their life they needed help, and they went to the Salvation Army. One of my first experiences was with the tornado over in Piney Green.
Right down the road.
And I had just started getting interested in the Salvation Army, and I'm telling you, the day after that tornado, actually, that tornado was early in the morning, wasn't it?
Yes,
No, it
I remember.
I think late that afternoon.
Late in the afternoon.
late.
They had their
evening.
food truck out there.
But the food truck was out there. I mean, almost immediately, we were out there helping those people, and
Yes,
I went
you
out there. We were out there for days, feeding people. Never asked them for a dime. There was another.
guy shooting pictures for the paper.
The Red Cross was there taking applications.
Yep.
But the Salvation Army was there feeding them today, and that impressed me. And we have the resources at the Salvation Army to do things like that when push comes to shove and people need something today. The Salvation Army can be there for them.
You also have food dinners and food kitchens and all sorts of good stuff, right? On a daily basis, right? Soup
yeah.
kitchen.
We have a food pantry.
Okay.
We don't
You don't do
don't
the soup
cook.
kitchen, okay.
The soup kitchen is another community outreach, which is another
Right.
great organization. They have a soup kitchen.
But you have a pantry.
We have a pantry, and you can get a box full of food that'll serve 4 people for a week.
So if you guys
Today,
are,
if you need it.
if you don't fill out an application and wait 6 weeks, right?
No, we do take your information because
Sure.
unfortunately there are people that'll take advantage
Of course.
of something, of an offer. So we coordinate with things like the Department of Social Services
Sure.
and other agencies, so that we try to catch people who are just shopping, going around getting help
Collecting,
from
right.
everybody,
Yeah.
which is a shame, but we have to do that. But yeah, you can walk in and walk out with something to eat today if you
Sure.
need it. So that's a good
Yeah, I
thing.
just got confirmation that tornado was late afternoon, early evening.
It was early.
But I remember it was like bam, and the
Yeah.
Salvation
The
Army
next
was right
day,
out there.
next day we
Yes.
were out there.
Yes.
So that was
We just call that Onslow County's Tornado Alley.
Yeah, I used to live right
Down
over
there
there,
in Piney
but
Green, they would hit right there in that area. If you had a tornado, it would come there or over there at Triangle.
oh
all the
yes,
time.
now it's Half Moon.
Yeah.
It's for across 111 over towards Half Moon, then up towards Maysville. That's Tornado Alley now.
Skip Waters claimed it's because there was an underground river.
Really?
Runs through Onslow County. It's an underground river. He said sometimes during the year clouds would follow that river and tornadoes would follow that river. And
How
years
can the
ago,
clouds see the water below the?
that's what he would. If when he'd
Humidity?
go out, when he would come
More
out, we
humidity in it?
call him to
Divining rod.
speak. Yeah, you call him to come out and speak, and he would talk about weather, and he would talk about, and he always talked about the underground river in Onslow County. He said and he said a lot of storms follow that river.
Really?
Now I don't know why.
I don't know.
Next time I see Bill Brown, he's a good friend of
We got
mine.
to
He
get that
just
map.
retired.
We got to get that map of that river. Where is it? Could I get access to it? I put my boat
I
down there.
guess you can. Yeah,
we
going
could
under that.
probably. Look, I know how to find it.
I got a
Coat
meteorologist.
hanger.
I got a meteorologist that I went to school
Coat hanger.
with, and he started doing weather when he was in school, and he was very good at it.
Mhm.
And he wound up being a meteorologist in Asheville, North Carolina. He retired, and his name is Bill Brown. And I'd call him up, Bill, how's the weather going to be? And in school, we would ask him, when's it going to snow? And we said that one time as a joke in September. When's it going to snow? And he put it in the school newspaper that on this date, it was in November, at this date, around this time, it was going to snow here, and everybody laughed at it. Well, that date came up, and it snowed that day. Now, it snowed just maybe 5 minutes.
It snowed.
It snowed, and I'm right there at the schoolhouse. I'll never forget it. I mean, it come a heavy snow for about 5 minutes, and it tickled me. And everybody, well, it sure didn't snow much. And I said, he didn't say how much it was going to snow. He just said it was going to. So from then on, the teachers, instead of sitting there looking at 6 o'clock, they Bill, what's the weather going to be like?
That's pretty
And
cool.
he was good. Yeah, he's cool dude.
We need to get him on the air.
He's still living in Asheville.
That's okay.
He
He comes.
comes
You know, we got a telephone here.
He's great. He's just
So now,
fantastic guy.
so now with this new format you got here,
Mhm.
how do you change topics since we don't have any
Okay, you want
breaks? Just do what you want to? I want to talk about cats.
Yeah.
Talk about cats.
Yeah, all of those feral cats
The
that are running loose.
commissioners, that's right. The
That's right.
Commissioners had a cat program on our
You didn't build any houses for them, did you?
on our workshop.
Stop.
Tim.
No.
Tim,
Nope.
I see your mind. Stop.
I was watching his eyes. I knew I could make
Let
it.
Royce talk
No,
about
I like
cats.
this. I want people to understand that we had this new
Yeah.
program. It's called Trap, Neuter, Vaccinate, and Release.
Yep.
And we have a feral cat problem in
We
Onslow
certainly
County.
do.
A lot of people talk about it.
That
But
doesn't mean there's a bunch of wild cats out there preying on people or anything like that, right? I mean, like attacking people.
I've not heard of any.
Okay,
of
I mean,
a lot
you-
of
we
attacks.
say it's a feral cat. Sometimes people think feral cats are
not like
crazy wild cats.
not like the horror movies.
Yeah,
They'll
right.
run after you and chase you down. But yeah, I mean, and this program is really cool. I think because it just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
For one thing, they'll train people who are feeding them because that's
Mhm.
if you're feeding them, then they keep coming
You're
and
encouraging
making
it.
more, right? But if you and they say that the science says that if you take one out of the group, or I don't know what they call them,
A colony.
herd colony. They call them a colony.
Yes.
That's what it is. If you take one out of the colony, then another one will come in
Yeah.
and replace them. But if you take them out and you fix them
Yeah.
and you put them back, then they'll stay there until they die, until they pass away, and they won't get replaced and they won't make any more.
Right.
So it just makes so much sense to me that now we're able, and through a grant we got, we're able to trap these cats
Uh-huh.
and take them and get them neutered or spayed and
I-
vaccinated so we don't have the rabies problem.
No
And then
idea
put 'em
there was
back.
that much science into that whole thing.
Oh, it is. I was amazed too. And you know, one thing they also do is they try to teach people how to feed them without inviting more. Because if you take a 20-pound bag of feed and you dump it out there on the ground, then
They'll
cats
all
are going to
come.
come from all over the place. But if you put out just enough food for the cats that you have
Yeah.
and let them eat it and then do it twice a day or whatever at the same time, then the same cats will come back and they'll eat the food and they'll leave, and you won't collect even more.
Mhm.
So I mean, I know we have people out there who fear for these cats, and
Yes.
they want to feed them, they want to take care of them, but they feed them too much, and the colony grows so big that, you know, you're buying a 5-pound bag of food, and the next thing you know, that's not enough. You're buying a 10-pound bag of food, and then they're calling me saying, I got all these cats. What am I supposed to do? This is a great program. So I would encourage people, if you if you like to feed the cats, or if you don't like the cats, then call the animal control.
Yeah.
They'll
And-
put you in touch with the best friends of
right.
animals, whatever
Well,
the name of that program.
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
we were going to have a couple young ladies from the Onslow County Animal Services on with us this morning, but we went ahead and kind of put that off a little
Yeah,
bit.
we'll be doing.
We'll be doing it later. But just so everyone knows, the Onslow County Animal Services will be holding a Clear the Shelter vendor and sponsored adoption event tomorrow
Yeah.
at the animal shelter, which is 244 Georgetown Road. And it's from 12 to 5 p.m. There's going to be lots of vendors and lots of fun out there. And some of the vendors, such as Adoption First Animal Rescue, which we have them on our show quite often, Paws for Purpose, Jaded Paws Rescue, and other vendors are going to be out there. And it's all, sponsoring each other. All pets and their adoption fees sponsored while supplies last. If you wish to help sponsor an adoption, you can visit the shelter during operational hours and speak to the front desk team. Now, this is, like I said, it's your chance to go out and adopt a pet.
Is it still, there's a fee involved, right?
I think there is just a small fee, if I'm not mistaken. It was like $20 or something like that.
Okay,
But
cool.
you're going to be getting pets that
Yes.
have been
And
vetted. They've been
yes, they've been vetted, they're taken care of.
That's
They
right.
You just
They're
do not,
healthy.
if you stop by the little puppy mill alongside the road, there's a little
Yes.
playpen there with a bunch of puppies in it, do not do that.
I will tell you though, puppies under the age of 6 months are not included in this, but it's a huge Clear the Shelter event that's happening tomorrow at the Animal Services on Georgetown Road. You need to go by because there's nothing better.
I'm sure they're gonna take a quick look
Nothing
at you and
better.
vet you to make sure you're not,
Yes. Then to
shopping.
rescue a pet from the animal shelter.
Yeah.
The love is unconditional.
we
Yeah, those
expanded.
guys are all over you.
Yes.
We expanded the shelter a couple of years ago.
Yes, you did.
We've expanded the number of animal control officers we have, and we've reduced the number of euthanizations.
Good.
Huge.
Well, my
hugely. I don't remember
understanding
what the
that really
percentage
about
are.
the only time they do that is if it's an animal that's very sick and cannot be healed,
Mhm.
or it's one that's very, very aggressive and cannot be trained.
Well, yeah, and we used to have to do it because the
Space.
shelter was just so full
Yeah.
we couldn't hold anymore.
Yeah.
But that's not a big issue now that
Right.
we've
It's not the
expanded the
priority.
shelter. So it's mostly animals that aren't adoptable. Either
Right.
they're aggressive or they're sick or like you
Right,
said,
right.
that they have to euthanize. So
Now,
that's a
folks,
good thing.
buy yourself a very early Christmas present. It's only 3.5 months away. Buy yourself a Christmas present now, or buy one for your kid.
The love that you can give an
Absolutely.
animal and the love that you get in return is like no other.
Yeah,
I
they're
got plenty.
special guys.
Yes.
I have helped them out through the years, but no, I got enough. I got cat. I got 2 outside cats and a baby possum that I feed.
You got to what?
Possum.
Baby possum.
Oh.
Baby possum showed up.
Can you
With the
turn it
cat.
loose when it gets bigger? Will it
Well, it
will it
stays loose.
adopt?
I don't touch it.
Well, they can
I don't
be
touch the
pets.
outside cats. They show up every morning at 4:30. They're waiting on the porch, and I feed them. Feed them a little bit of feed. In fact, I have to give them treats too.
Feed.
And
Oh,
I feed
for
in the
heaven's
inside
sake.
cat's looking at the back door and watching me do this. She's jealous. And I've already fed her. And when I come home in the evening, they run out of the woods and they run up to the back porch and they look. Now I can't touch either one of them. Can't touch them. But I feed them. But I have no mice. Haven't seen a snake
Yeah.
around my house.
Yeah.
They do have access to go into the house. And I used to have cats in the barn years ago, and I had 14.
Mm.
And they showed up every day. Now they would leave, but they would show back up, and I fed them. And there used to be an organization called CAPS.
Yes.
Remember them?
Gail Whipple.
They
She
would-
was- yeah.
They
Yeah,
would come
yeah.
to the house, and they would be kittens. I'd call them. Well, we got some kittens now. And the cat with the kittens, they would stay at the barn and raise them kittens in the barn. Well, they would come get them. And because I would handle those. When they were kittens, I'd play with them and handle them.
Right.
And for years they came out and they would get the kittens and that, and but them cats would scatter. I could go in there during the middle of the day, you wouldn't see them. But every evening and every morning, and I fed them, and I'm like, I bought a 40-pound bag of cat food, but I never saw a snake, never saw a mouse, and I'm happy. Because just like our old corn crib, old pack house, it's got 2 corn crib doors, and there's a hole cut out in each door, and that was for the cats to go in and out of that corn crib whenever they wanted to. And so, yeah, I was raised. Yeah, you got to have a cat around here somewhere, boy. Don't let them in the house, but you got to have them. But I like cats. And we got that idiot in the house that we got from Animal Control years ago.
A cat you call an idiot?
Yeah, she's an idiot. But my daughter had to have a cat, so I was contractor then for Animal Control. I said, well, let's go. We went down there, and the second cat, she handled bitter.
Oh.
Well, my daughter said, well, that's a love bite. So she had to come home.
Oh, really?
So we brought the cat home.
She brought the cat home.
She brought the cat home. That bitter. And I just kept, you got to be kidding. But no, that was a love bite. I don't care what it was. I'd have slung her across the yard. But that's, and she's still at the house. My daughter's got moved to Raleigh, and she's got her cat in Raleigh, and she can't lift that thing at the house.
Why don't you put it in a box and mail it?
I would love to.
Well, you can't. Don't
She's
you have the address?
aggravating. Yeah, but no.
Well, so I'm waiting for my granddaughter.
In fact, we just bought that $300 kiloliter
Oh, that's special.
electric kilo. Yeah, that thing works good too.
Well, I'm waiting for my granddaughter to do her first year in college, and then her second year, she's supposed to be getting an apartment, and she can take her cat back. I mean, I love the cat, but I've had the cat for like 10 years.
Well, I'm used to
And
the old thing
That
now.
cat is going to be the cause of me falling and
Yeah.
breaking my hip, because every morning he'll slide in quietly and get in between my feet, waiting for his food. I don't know he's there, and I'm
One
just
time
like,
you step on his tail, he'll quit.
oh,
that.
I've done that too.
Mine beats on the door at 4:00 in the morning. She'll come to the bedroom door, and she's got a specific meow.
Oh yeah.
And she'll hit that, and I look, and I turn the light on, and her paw is underneath the door,
Yeah.
doing like this.
Yes,
And so you gotta love something like that, even though I hate her.
right.
I do.
Right,
She
right.
aggravating.
I
But
love my cat,
And
but
she's got 10 beds somewhere around the house. She'll sleep in a different bed every night, but she ain't sleeping with me.
yeah, that's the big thing too. Getting on the bed, I try to keep something
Yeah.
down on top of the quilt, because if not, there's hair and dirt everywhere. But
Yeah.
you know, I love my animals. So I love my animals.
Royce,
Well, I
anything
do
else
know.
you can promote for
No, I
the
do
Men Who
have.
Cook thing?
I do have one question. After you, anything else you want to say about Men Who Cook?
Oh yeah, I just want to reiterate. Yeah, we need to get people signed up by
We do.
tomorrow to cook. So
We
we
do.
appreciate anybody.
To talk to
You don't have to be fancy. Just
someone.
we need some more cooks. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
real quick, I want to ask you about the sewage spill that just happened over at Wallace Creek up there.
Yeah, that was.
What happened
I'm not sure what
When did this happen?
what caused.
yesterday?
I missed it, I guess.
It's
Oh, I know what it was. It was the pump station failed. Something failed at the pump
yes,
station.
yes. I mean, they're right on it, cleaning it
Yeah,
up.
they
They're right on it, but gosh,
we spilled some sewage at
Onwasa's just having a bad luck.
We
lately.
have had a bad time lately.
You will.
The Onwasa again is only 25 years old, but Onwasa inherited all of the old sewer systems from Onslow
Yes.
County, and the town's Richlands has some of the oldest sewer and water infrastructure in the county, and Holly Ridge and Swansboro both have old infrastructure as well as Onslow County's old infrastructure, and it's a challenge to. I mean, you don't want to raise people's rates just so much.
When you dig a hole and you see
Yeah.
clay pipe, you say, oh my
Oh,
God.
I know it. Yeah, and you try not to raise rates, but this infrastructure's got to be some of it's got to be upgraded.
Did you get some
We
grants?
just we lost those lines on 210 out in Sneed's Ferry. Those were old water lines that busted.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just tasked our management with to get us an inventory of what the oldest infrastructure we have out there is. So and we just got to get to work on trying to get that stuff fixed. No matter what we have to do. I mean, if we have to raise rates to do it, we'll have
It's
to.
not an overnight
we'll have
thing.
to do it. It's just and it takes years and years and millions of dollars. It's crazy how much it costs to fix these things nowadays.
Well,
They're having to ship in.
yeah.
They're bringing in for that pump station in Piney Green. They're having to bring a part down from, I think from DC or somewhere up in Northern Virginia, Fredericksburg. They had to find a part, and they're trucking it in here. Supposed to get here today, so they can get thing
Well,
finished.
I
But
did
they
get
stopped the leak,
kudos.
but they had to do a temporary bypass. But they as a matter of fact, they're having to pump and haul,
Mhm.
which is very expensive.
Yep.
So,
Well, glad
It's
they're
just,
always on it.
yeah,
You got a
So
freight
nice.
rate. You
we
got
got a lot of good folks working in Onwassa, and they work hard and they get a lot done, but you can only do so much with that old infrastructure.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's just another hat
I
that
mean,
Royce wears.
when they put the new building up downtown where the old hospital was, I showed up with trench boxes. Well, they had, and the guy was digging. He went, "Hey,
Oh,
there's something down there." Well, they pull out the maps
Mm.
and they got to looking, and we finally uncovered enough of it. I said, "That's an old sewer line. Ain't no telling when it was put in there." Well, it's not on the map.
That's
Can't help.
right.
There's a whole lot of ain't on the
A
map.
lot of
And it was the old clay pipe type stuff.
Yep.
And I said, Hall said it was probably put in here when the first hospital was put in here, and I think it was 1941.
about
And
that,
they
yeah.
looked at me and they said, "Well, how do you figure that?" I said, "Because it had a bomb shelter in it." I remember when the guy tore it down. He said he had never tore down nothing that hard in his life because concrete was 2 feet thick all the way around. And and I told him then, I said, "It was a bomb shelter you're tearing down." And he took out a door. He took his
I'd love
oak
to have
door
that
out.
door.
Oh, I would love that. And
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
it was 4 to 6 feet wide. Anyway, he
Ooh,
took out a door.
wow.
He found it inside.
I would
And I
see.
helped him load it up. It was heavy.
Mm,
And he
mm,
said, "It looks like a carriage house door." I said, "Well, I don't know what it was. but
Probably
it
got
was
lead
a-
inside it.
I don't know. It
Because
was
that's what they
heavy.
used to use.
It was heavy, but it was wooden on the outside. But it was about 6 inches thick.
Good. I would
Yeah,
love
just
that
like
one.
a lot of those pipes are not in the place where the maps show they are. It
Well,
just
it
going
was
out
sort of a sketch.
and
It's
Yeah.
somewhere over yonder.
when they were fixing
Once
Gum
again,
Branch Road,
Coat hanger.
busted
Oh, I
water
had you.
pipes on Gum Branch Road several times because the pipes just weren't in the
Wow.
same place where the map shows them. So
Well, see,
Yes.
I water all my animals with county water. Every one of them. So my water bill is not the minimum. Trust me.
Why don't you put a well out there?
Why?
Free
Let me
water.
tell you something.
Oh, here we go.
My daddy worked for Sears and
Just like a
Roebuck.
man on
Yes,
his
sir.
neck,
My daddy
Jeff.
worked for Sears and Roebuck, and it used to make him mad to get up at 2:00 in the morning because water pumps back then and freezers were emergencies.
Yes.
And I remember he was out there working with that Camel cigarette in his mouth with that flashlight. He said, "I'll tell you one thing.
Mhm.
If they ever get county water in here, water pumps won't be emergencies, and I will be the first one to sign up." And he was the 6th person to sign it up, and it was $30.
That's pretty cool.
For
Oh my
the
God.
meter.
Yeah.
And but I learned as long as I pay my bill, I better have water.
I'm surprised. I'm just surprised you don't have a well out there.
Mm-mm.
I would have figured you
My
had.
water line to my house from the highway is 1,670 feet
Oh, my
long.
Lord.
Yeah, I was going to say it probably is.
And people say, "Why did you do that?" I said, "Because the simple fact, like I just said, as long as I pay my water bill, I got it running from my house all the way to my back pasture."
Mm.
Well, the thing is, if they
Don't
cut the
matter.
water off at the edge of your property, you'd have water for 3 days, wouldn't you?
That's about right. That's about
That was a good one, Rayford.
All right, I'm just thinking about it.
All right, Tim, I'm gonna give you this seat back.
Thank you.
Fine, Royce.
Royce, we appreciate you coming in this morning, sir.
I
Y'all
appreciate
help
you,
Roy.
buddy.
All right, you
I
too.
appreciate
We
what
will
y'all
see
do.
you soon, if not before.
Yeah, we will
We'll
see
see
you.
you Saturday.
All right.
Saturday, be ready for us.
Yeah, next
We're
Saturday.
taking it on.
Well,
We're winning.
Bring it on. The Marine Forecast brought to you by Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville. We too often hear of tragic events involving young people. This week it's just like
Heartbreaking,
it's
heartbreaking.
discouraging, whether it's a mass shooting or whether it's suicides. Young people barely in their teens are doing things that we wish that they wouldn't do. We shake our heads. We wonder what went wrong. Well, I've read you some of the stuff that went wrong with this situation earlier this week. But no doubt, as we get older, we look back at the kids we were in school with. Maybe you thought some of your classmates acted kind of strange. Perhaps they were loners. Maybe they were bullied or they were the ones doing the bullying. I can think of some. Both counts. Ever wonder what happened to those people? You ever think about them? Where are they today? Do you ever look them up? Have you ever Googled them?
Yeah.
I will tell you, if you Google enough, you're going to find out that some bad things have occurred with them. Not to the extent that this kid this week did,
Right.
but you'll find out criminal histories. You'll find some things that have happened
So
that are
sad.
not good. Hopefully, most of them turned out fine. As adults, you've certainly become more aware of odd behavior among your own kids, perhaps, or your friends. If you've ever looked at their Facebook pages, you're probably like, what in the name? This is not the kid that's mine. Who's doing this?
Well,
The
he wouldn't
devil?
do nothing like that. Yeah.
The devil? What's going on here? At some point in time, all of us need to realize that a lot of people could benefit with a little intervention. If it's your own kids, it's a little bit easier to do, but you probably don't like it, but you probably need to be doing it. Maybe not real comfortable. If you're seeing odd behavior, either whether it's your kids, your grandkids, your nieces, your nephews, your neighbors, if you've got good neighbors and y'all talk a lot and you see their kid is doing things that maybe they're not even seeing, maybe they're seeing your kid doing things that you're not seeing, y'all need to share this kind of information. And then you need to get them some help. Reach out to Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville. They've got people on staff. They got great counselors. They're trained and they're experienced, lots of experience. Give them a call for information, and maybe you'll want to schedule a session. 910-353-0972, 910-353-0972. Offshore today. Small craft advisory still in effect. It will go away this afternoon, they say. And they claimed earlier in the week it would go away yesterday. That's the weather for you. Offshore, northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet, 2 to 3 near shore, but it's going to be choppy. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop tomorrow. Northeasterly winds 5 to 10 knots, seas 3 to 4 feet, about 2 feet near shore. Sounds and rivers a light chop. Sunday, northeasterly winds 15 to 20, kicking up again, gusts to 25, diminishing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon, 3 to 5 foot seas in the morning, 2 to 3 near shore. Sounds and rivers choppy, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon.
And today, Friday, yay day, partly sunny with a high near 83, north wind around 7 miles per hour. Friday night, a chance of showers in the early evening, mostly cloudy with a low around 68. Saturday, a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a high near 79. And Sunday, partly sunny with a high near 78.
At the studio here on the north side of Jacksonville, it's 66 degrees outside. Relative humidity is on up there 95 degrees, 95% rather, and feels like it's 70 degrees out there with the humidity.
Just want to remind everybody that tomorrow in Richlands is Farmers Day.
Glad you said it.
It's going to be at the Heritage Elementary School.
Just follow the traffic.
The fun and festivities start at 10 a.m. There will be vendors, antique tractors. Tim's going to be there. Games,
you mentioned
music.
antique tractors, and then you said
And then I
Tim's
said,
gonna be
Tim, right. I was just waiting to see if you were going to catch up.
Old Fart's gonna be in
there.
town.
There you go.
Games, music, amusement rides, and much more.
Giddy up.
Great family fun. It's free. So Farmers Day first began in 1966, and I think it was 2016 was the last one they had since then.
It's a big event. It's going to be a biggie.
Yes, and Gina Cook and Elliot, they were in here last week talking about it. Two fine young people that have worked so hard on this. So
Let's make it a gang.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
she
yes.
had one that's had something in the spring and last year. And I told her, I said, look, if you want to have an event, and it's all going to all the money is going to Richlands Volunteer Fire Department. Folks, you got to understand, and I know the county gives out a little bit of money, and I got something to say about that. But
well, I don't know if
they have expenses. They have a light bill. They have a water bill. They have utilities. They have to buy turnout gear. They have to keep a certain rate. All fire
You got
departments
to
have
buy
to have
gasoline.
got to buy gas and diesel fuel. But you have each fire department, whatever district you're in, support them because they are the ones that keep your homeowner's insurance down.
They are your
That's
neighbors.
right.
And the
Jeez.
higher rating they have, the lower your house
There you
insurance is. But she talked to me about it. I said, look, if you want to have a good festival, have it in the fall. And I said, call it Farmers Day.
Around harvest time.
Right.
Harvest. And what we used to do, we had the backer looping contest back in the day. We would go out and steal somebody's tobacco and come in, and then we'd give it back to them. We had collard cooking contest. At one time, we had a wood cook stove, and Betsy Howson would cook lima beans and fry ham on that wood cook stove. And for a donation, you could have, and she'd make biscuits.
Oh.
Piggy Wiggler would donate the ham and the biscuits. Ward Frizzell, Lynn Ward Sylvester, Lynn Ward Sylvester, and for a donation, you could have a ham biscuit. Homemade ham biscuit off a wood
Cooked
cook
over
stove.
wood.
And we had all other kind of games through the years. We had it, and they couldn't do it now, but for years, even when I was a kid, they had the greased pole.
Oh, yes. I know. I don't know why they don't do it now. I asked.
Well, I'd be a liability. It'd probably be a liability thing now because we had that greased pole. It wasn't that tall. It was tall enough, but we didn't have anything underneath it. If you fell, you could get hurt. But it's just. But it was different things. And I told her, I said, you started out and you grow every year. You grow, you add to it, and they have a carnival coming. Small little carnival.
I saw pictures of amusement.
Well, we always had ugly and pretty tractor contest, and Pat Farmer. He came to me. He joined. It was Friends of Farmer then. And he says, we don't like that. That's why you don't get participation. I looked at Pat. I said, because I was co-chairperson at the time. I said, you handle that. You fix it any way you want it, and we'll back it. And he did, and it turned out to be a great event. He had different classes of tractors. We had the Parade of Power for him. In fact, we had Farmers Day Parade at the time. And I told her, I said, just start out what you can handle. Let's see what your volunteers got. We had the Boy Scouts out there picking up trash. We had the museum had the hayride that she would take you on a tour around Richlands and tell you about it. And we had all different, and we would add things, we would take things away. We would add things, take things away. But it's all for the fire department. And the county commissioners have a little fund. And it was
tourism.
Right. And it was brought up to me by Paul Buchanan because Paul has worked with me during Farmers Day.
Yes, I
Of
know.
course, if we have a collard cooking contest or collard eating contest, he won't enter that. He will
He was working on trying to get the money.
Yeah, he's young, and I told him. He can't even say four.
Look, he's been here long enough. He's not a Yankee
I've been
anymore.
doing, me and Paul have been
Yankees.
together
It's okay.
for years.
I mean,
We
somebody's
have
gotta
known
help
each
him.
other.
I
But
would consider him a homeboy now.
Yeah,
He's
he
been
is.
here long enough,
well,
and he's
I
done
don't-
so much
I
for
don't
his
he married
community.
June.
I can't
If it
consider
wasn't
him a
June.
homeboy, okay?
He's a homeboy.
He can't be. No.
Well, he married
No.
June, and that upgraded him to.
That's
Well,
right.
of course it did.
Yeah,
That's
of course
right.
it- June, I still love you, baby.
He got an upgrade when he married
But
her.
what he brought it up to the board about and asked for $2,500. Well,
I understand that got voted down.
him and Tim Foster voted for it. 4 county commissioners voted it down. And one
Why?
county commissioner didn't vote at all. And
Why?
I got the phone call. I don't know.
$2,500
$3
is a
million for a swimming
drop
pool. They could have done
my
that. That's my
pocket.
opinion.
Yeah, well, we knew
Now
that was
here's
coming.
here's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put this out today. Tomorrow, when I see Gina Cook, I'm going to pull $100 out of my pocket, and I'm going to give it to her. And I'm challenging anybody else. Let's make it a fabulous 25.
Yeah, that's
Anybody
so
else
nice.
wants to walk up and donate $100 to her? If I can get 24 more people, we won't.
Okay,
come to county.
here's your selling point.
Unbelievable.
Do what the county commissioners did not do.
Yeah, I'm not faulting them for
That's
it.
your theme. You
Right.
just do that.
I'm not faulting them for it. I want them to vote how they want to vote. And
Yeah,
I'm
they
not
did.
faulting them
That's
for it.
part of
I'm not
voting,
downing them
yes.
for it. Hey, you got your decision, you make it. But I'm going around.
I'm not downing
I'm
them
gonna
either.
donate.
I'm just
$100.
disappointed.
I don't know the reasons why they bought, and it could be
That's
one of those
true.
things. You know,
Yeah.
there are 48 festivals here,
Right.
And that's
and they
true.
would like to be
That's very
93,
Yeah.
and they all want $2,500 of your tax dollars.
Right.
I can see that
I can
viewpoint as
too.
well. Okay,
I
Not a problem.
understand.
And that's why I wasn't mad.
Right.
I wanted you because they voted on some things before I didn't like. They voted on some things that I really did like. The county commissioners that I hired, I'm tickled to death with.
Yes.
The ones that I hired. Now you
The ones
guys-
that you
Yeah.
voted for.
One that, well, I call it hired.
Yeah,
But
well,
yeah.
that's true.
I'm tickled about what they've done. One is going out that I'm glad to see go out. Can't help that.
You're just never going to let that one die, are you?
He's just not
Nothing
letting
but-
that go.
And you got one coming in. The jury's still out on him. We'll see.
Mm.
We'll see. But
You'll
for the
let
most-
them know, won't you?
trust me. Yeah, oh, yeah, trust me. Yes, sir.
You're the one person that says, "Trust me, I'll trust you."
me.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And we'll see about that one.
That's
Here's
kinda like
a little
guarantee.
history. Richlands was incorporated on March 29th, 1880.
Yep.
And it was the first town in Onslow County. Oh, come on.
To have perfect
To
water.
have its own library
Yep.
and museum,
Yeah.
which is the home of the Onslow County
Yes, it is.
Museum. And
I was there
Richlands
for
was
that one.
also the first town in Onslow County to have the first female mayor. Annette
Yeah.
Hargett, remember
Annette
Annette
Hargett was
Hargett when she
mayor.
was the mayor there?
Look,
Yes. And look, history of Richlands. A post office called Richlands has been in operation since 1806. All right. And tell me
Benjamin
why.
Franklin came in and took care of it
And tell me
that was-
how Richlands got its name.
because the
well, I
dirt
can
was
tell
really
you.
rich.
It was named on account of its rich
And it
soil.
was called,
Absolutely.
it was called and I keep telling these transients this.
Transients.
It was called the Richlands. The Richlands.
The
That's what it was called.
Richlands.
And when they incorporated the town, they got rid of the, and the land was so rich in nutrients and soil, you virtually did not have to have fertilizer. They
Good.
did, but
Wow.
that's how Richlands became its name. And Richlands is also famous for the Onslow County, the Lonely Pine. We had turpentine mills.
Yes.
Yep.
We got one. I can go to Catherine's Lake and show you where one was because the rosin or resin is still
Resin.
laying there in the water where it would drip down off the
Oh,
thing. It's
yeah.
still there.
Yeah.
I'd have to get permission from Cody Montgomery, but that probably wouldn't be a problem. But fiddle players from all over part of the United States used to go, and they would take up some of that they called it rosin. They take up some of that cake of rosin. They take it back home. They grind it down. That's what they rosin up their bows with.
Really?
They said it was fantastic stuff.
Cool.
You know what the 2020 census count was on Richlands? Population 2,287. 1.2 square miles. Now they're
Wow.
talking right in the city
Yeah,
itself.
and you got to understand, Richlands was bigger than Jacksonville. It had two hotels at one time.
I remember
the
that
train
one on
ran
the
through.
corner. Yes.
And Annette Hargett took one. One of them is what they call the vendor's house now.
Yeah.
And the other one is right there on the corner by the barbershop. And Annette Hargett got that restored, and they turned it into like a hood house or something like that. But it's still there. Both of them are still there. And I've heard Daddy talk about give me story. Granddaddy gave me stories about how the train would come into Richlands. They'd get off and they'd have carriages carrying them to the hotel, and they'd have this, that, the
Wow.
other.
Well,
Pretty cool.
And Jacksonville got bigger when Camp Lejeune came alive.
1941.
Yeah.
Well,
Had a
Gina,
population
and,
of 700 in
Yeah.
1940.
well, Gina and Elliot, I wish you the best
I
day
do too.
tomorrow. I know it's going to be a
I just want some
tremendous
hot dog.
success.
I want a hot dog with cheese and chili.
And I'm sure come next
Never
year,
said
when
all
you
that.
ask the commissioners for that 2,500, they're probably going to double
Well,
it.
they may, and if
They
they
might not
don't,
need
it's fine.
Yeah,
You know,
I
it
know.
really,
I-
I'm not mad about it
No,
because
I
in the whole
understand.
general, I think our county commissioners are doing a good job.
Oh,
I
well,
really do.
certainly. I don't have a problem with that.
And I
I'm
really would.
disappointed it didn't get
Yeah.
approved, but
But-
I'm not mad.
But you
I mean,
can't
I
pay
understand.
everybody.
No, you can't.
But I can go around them. If I donate $100 and say 24 more people donated 100, there's their 25.
But see, once they establish this back again and they go back the next year and the next year, it becomes an established thing, just like the Shrimp Festival for Sneed's Ferry and the Mullet Festival
Yeah.
in
I
Swansboro.
remember the
So,
first shrimp.
you know,
I
I'm
was there.
sure that the
God, I
county
was.
commissioners will say, yeah, give them some of
Yeah.
that tourism money.
But I hope it turns out because I wanted Farmers Day to stay alive. I
Oh,
really do. It's been
I
a
loved it.
I enjoyed it. I really, really did.
Right.
When I was with the Friends of Farmers, our money went to scholarships for
Mhm.
outstanding agriculture student, horticulture student, or environmental student,
Right.
and the ag teachers picked them out.
Right.
We didn't do any picking.
Yeah.
We just say, here's the money. Here's you give it to who you need, and that's what we did at the Chamber of Commerce. When they
Mhm.
had it, they had a party. But
Well-
you do with it what you want.
Let me tell you, on the other side of the county tomorrow in Swansboro is the 4th annual T2T Swansboro 5K Run Walk, and that's the towers to tunnels.
Right.
I'm sorry, tunnels
Tunnels
to
to
towers. And that's tomorrow. You can volunteer or be out there and cheer the community when the community comes together once again to remember the fallen military and
Yep.
first responders, honor those who continue to serve and sacrifice and support these heroes and their families. And that's tomorrow in Swansboro. You can go up on the Swansboro Chamber of Commerce page and they should have all the information on it. But another good thing, another good event tomorrow here
plenty
in
to do.
Onslow County.
Yeah.
So there's
Okay.
plenty to do. And look, Onslow County Farmers Market's open also again
Yep.
tomorrow.
And weather's looking pretty good.
8 a.m. to 12, rain or shine. So going out and get some fresh veggies.
For a bit yesterday, a brief period of time yesterday, I don't know whether y'all were looking at it or not. I was. There was a map full of X's. We had
I've noticed-
5 of them at one time. One
What?
time for a brief period of time. One disappeared after a while. Could
You
come
know
back at any
what?
time if conditions continue
Yep.
to be conducive for tropical development. And then another one has dropped out now. There are 3.
Since we've
Yeah,
been on the air
3.
this morning, no, we have another one that's dropped. We only have 2 showing now.
Yeah.
Another one dropped this morning, Rayford, because there was 3 this morning,
Mhm.
and I knew the 4th had dropped.
Okay, let me punch it up one more
Right
time.
now, it's on showing because I'm like, what happened to it? That page must have refreshed on its own. That's crazy.
Well, maybe that one is not. There are 3. There are still 3 of them out there currently
Okay.
as of 8
Yours
o'clock.
is- One of
You
them,
can't see
maybe one of them just dipped for a
I
little
just
bit.
hope none of them are going
I
to
mean,
turn.
One of them
into
is
hurricane
off of that. That has to be scrolled down. The one off of
I mean,
North
I
Carolina has
saw it
moved up
this
to
morning.
Virginia.
Right.
So the
Oh,
map
maybe it's moved.
it's up there.
That's what's
It's moved up
happened.
there. None of them are threatening us at this point in time. There's one off North Carolina. Well, it was off North Carolina. Now it's off
Yep, there it
Virginia
is.
and Maryland. And it's it's moving towards the northeast. It's going to be a nothing thing. One down there, it keeps resurrecting itself off of Texas. Don't know what it's going to do. It has no clue. The only one that's in the real question right now is the one that's off the Yucatan Peninsula area.
See that?
Not much chance it's
Yeah.
going to form up over the next even 7 days, 20%. It's the one that came across all the way
Yes,
across
it
the
did.
Caribbean, never built into anything, but it's just a massive mess.
And the other one that was off the coast of Africa is just
It's gone. Well,
dissipated.
they've had 3 of
Yeah.
those to disappear.
Yes.
So it's just
I just
went
I just
away
hope they don't.
Freaky.
into the Bermuda Triangle on the south
Yes.
side.
See that?
Okay, we do appreciate all of y'all who've chimed in this morning. We are on
Yes.
Facebook. We will remain on Facebook and YouTube
That's right.
for a bit anyway. And we would like to chat with you guys if you're interested in advertising. We have some
Yes.
special rates that we can do for introductory rates
Mhm.
for us. We are working on another venue, and that may come to fruition. May not. If it doesn't, then we're still right here on Facebook and YouTube because we
That's
can
right.
have a lot of fun here.
Oh,
We're going to have a lot of fun wherever we go.
Yep.
But we would like to offer you guys the opportunity. We're going to grow. There's no doubt about it. We're going to continue to grow. There ain't no stopping. Been doing this way too long.
We have huge plans.
Don't get in the way
That's
of
right.
progress. Anyway, there are some people I miss. There's our buddy Chris.
Yes,
I miss him dearly.
Hollywood. Yes.
But he's still a great guy.
Yes.
He'll always be a good guy.
We're going to miss
Yeah.
Hollywood.
So, and anywho, and you will still see us not at tonight's card
This week is away.
is away, but I'm looking at it to see how if I get my dish done so that I don't have to get up bright and early on Saturday morning. If I get the basics there and all I have to do is put them together,
Yes.
I'm going to the game next Friday night on the 13th. It
Yeah,
is Friday
where's
the
that going to
13th.
be?
I
Is it
don't know.
West Carteret
It's
or West
up
Craven,
yonder
or-
that way somewhere.
I'll have to look it up.
It's approaching down east, but it's not down east.
Maybe if
People-
our favorite news
West
editor,
Carteret. Yeah.
our sports news
Just
editor is
outside of
listening,
Beaufort.
he can let us know.
We'll check with him first of the
Yeah.
week, or
I
he'll
think- yeah.
send us a note.
I
Yes.
think it's just out of Beaufort on
It's-
70.
Hey, it's not far, wherever it is.
Just as soon as you get out of Beaufort, it's on the left.
It can't be on the left.
You go out of
Oh.
Beaufort.
I'll have to go turn around and it'll be on my right. I will not turn to the left to go anywhere. You understand that?
Well, you can
right?
go down there to where 70 turns
I
right,
had to think about
turn around
that.
at the store.
Got
That
it.
little store.
I can do
Then
that.
go back.
I had to
There you go.
absolutely think about that, and then I got it.
Having a slow moment, are you?
I'm
And
tired. I
I
had
got one more
nightmares
thing.
last night.
the Fort Fisher restoration is supposed to be the grand opening for the
Yay.
last part will be September 26th.
Mm.
That's a great place down there.
Yeah. This
Very historical.
yes, it
Been
is.
down there. I actually dove two of the vessels that's down there that were sunk by the
So what next?
Union
What's-
aggressors in the 1860s. One was the Ella, another was the Modern Greece.
Okay.
Modern Greece, first time I dove that, my dive buddy and my two dive buddies and I went there. He said, "Let's go. It's going to be cold." And I said, "Okay, we'll go." We dove year round.
Yeah.
So we got down there and there were two guys fishing in the surf, just casting out. It was January and it was cold. I will give you that.
Mhm.
Wind wasn't blowing. That's the good thing. And we swam out from the beach to the Modern Greece. The ship. It was a Civil War era blockade runner. So we were swimming out through the surf to get out there. And I said, "Cecil, the water's cold." I said, "Look at those fools over there surf fishing." And we're three of us out there
I see what it's.
pedaling out to the thing, and I thought both of them were going to die, drown, laughing so hard.
Yeah.
Here we are in what felt like sub-freezing
Yeah.
water
That's
temperature.
Robert calling in. And just so you know, it is West Carteret next week.
Yeah.
West Carteret. I thought it was. I knew it was a West Sea. It was a West Sea. I knew.
So we
that.
got a Robert calling in.
Yeah, that's Robert, one of our frequent.
Good morning,
listeners.
Robert. Comment allez-vous aujourd'hui?
Kathy.
Oh, well, hi, Kathy.
Hey, Cassie, what's going on?
Nothing much, Rafer, Lee, and
And Timmy,
Ducky Man. How are you
Duncan
doing?
Man.
should not know your name.
That's all right. I'm I'm the donkey man.
How you doing, Kathy?
Doing good.
What's going on with you?
Nothing much. I'm just saying hello and good morning.
Good
And
morning.
Thank you.
it's kind of shocking that about nothing on the radio, and I hear you guys on the Facebook and all that, and I'm like, oh no.
Well, we
We'll be back.
don't know where we're going to be, but
Right.
we have a home here. That's not a
Yes.
problem. We might want to spread our wings a little bit, which was something we're kind of looking at right now. And so we're toying with the
We have
idea.
things in
We got a couple things.
the works.
So-
So it's
Okay,
okay.
stay on.
So,
Don't go.
all right. You tell the
We're not
family
gonna go anywhere.
we said howdy.
I will.
All right. You take care.
All right.
All right.
You all have a beautiful, amazing day.
Yeah, you too.
Have
And a great
good
weekend. Go catch some fish.
You too.
All right.
And-
Take
All
care.
right.
Bye-bye.
Tim Spees just messaged us and said that the Georgia shooting kid is in court right now.
Yeah,
So.
it's first appearance, and
Yes.
I know they're going to plead guilty. Not guilty in these. here's what I'm going to do. They're going to request psychological evaluation. All right.
Yes.
So that should be standard procedure. If his attorney doesn't do that, there's something wrong with the attorney. I can get a new one
Yes.
right up front on that one.
God.
Tell me what this who's Taylor Swift chicky poo? What's
She's a singer, and she's very popular amongst the younger generation.
Yeah.
and apparently among football players?
Yeah, she's been dating an NFL football player, and it's just
Why are we
sick
looking
of
at these as headlines? Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes,
Yes.
or something, whatever.
Yes.
They sit separately at the game amid Trump support controversy.
Yeah.
You've got to dig for this in this day and time to
Well,
put this out here as news.
She's news.
You just don't know
Come
the
from the other
news
people.
that's come out of her dating him. It's been going on
Yeah.
for what, a year now.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
And it was like because I don't know why. You explain it.
Well, we need, okay, you're the only single
Yes.
person around here, so let's talk about you. When can you start something up so we can start talking about you dating somebody?
You'll never hear about it. That's for sure. I keep my personal life extremely personal.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
It's except
But
for that.
I guarantee you I can write one or two off the list.
Now
Yeah.
that Brazilian metal singer ever came down.
Yeah, we've heard about that one. The Brazilian, what kind of singer?
He's a metalhead. He
A
sings metal.
metalhead.
Oh my gosh!
How old is this metalhead?
half my age. I would sell
Oh,
everything
boy.
I had. Oh yeah, Cougar, come
Go
out.
Cougar, baby. Oh, I hear you.
No, it's
How long
I.
them fingernails is?
No, just kidding, just kidding. I would never do that. But
Uh-huh.
I'm just like, that's one fine young man. And he can sing. He can sing.
See? Got them hormones racing right now.
You're not
I'm
concerned
good.
about his singing, I'm sure, right?
Nah.
I do love his singing. That's what made me just think. I just really fell for him, but not in that way. Not no.
I got
I just mean he's become one of my favorite singers.
Backpedaling.
And
you. She is just so hard as she can.
just stop. If
Sound
you
like
ever
she's
heard
trolling,
him,
but she's backpedaling.
all right. All you need to do is hear him sing "Amazing Grace."
I probably won't move me the same way it's moved you. I hope.
It brought me to tears.
I like Amazing. I love the song "Amazing Grace." Now, don't get me wrong.
Right.
That's one of my favorite forever.
Right.
Yeah. I love to hear
Has
that
always
man
been,
talk.
always
Oh
will.
yeah, but you know the way he did
I'll
it,
go get a canjo and play
it just made me break down and cry.
Yeah.
And I've got it in my will, and y'all are witnesses, and everybody listening. When my time comes, that's the version I want. His recording of "Amazing Grace" played at my funeral.
Timmy
My
and I will
sister's
sing
like
it for
going,
you.
"Nope, it's not happening." I said, "Oh, it's just in my will. It is."
Wait, Timmy and I will sing it for
I'll
you.
wear my purple shirt.
No, I want Dan Bass to sing it. I want
Dan
his
Bass.
record. Dan Bass.
And that's his real name?
Yeah, well, it's
It is
Vascolonis or something like
Okay.
that.
In
But
other words, in other words, you
He
don't
goes-
want me and Steve to sing.
he goes by Dan Vasc, VASC, and you'll find him on
Is
YouTube.
that Vass or Voss?
Vass.
Or Vase?
Vosk. Well, it's Vosk. I think it's Vask, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's Vask. But if you go on YouTube and look him up and look up "Amazing Grace," you're gonna want that song at your funeral. It's so good.
Timmy, how do you pronounce V-A-S-E?
No, it's not VASC.
know. How do you
Vase.
pronounce V-A-S-E?
I would say vase or vase.
Why do they call it Voss?
Some
They
people
don't
do.
see it in number one.
Some people do.
I know they do.
That's just like, I can think of a lot of words right now that people data and
Or data.
Or data.
I keep using them interchangeably.
yes.
I don't know which is right
I've
or
always
which is
said
wrong.
data, but sometimes I'll say data. I mean,
I don't know.
there's words like that are said different ways. How do you spell? All right, let me ask you this. This is something that just crawls all over me. The word dam, like a water dam, D-A-M.
D-A-M.
Yeah, the word itself, dam, that comes from the word damnation.
Right.
How do you spell that?
D-A-M-N.
Thank you very much. It's D-A-M-N,
Yeah,
not
because
D-A-M.
they took the damnation and broke it down to
That's
damn.
right.
Now,
What was the question you asked me?
It was
How do
just
you-
Yeah, Rayford still lost.
How do you spell what?
Well, you started with Voss and Vask and a vase.
and it was like the dog, like my dog, my favorite
Right.
dog that I had in my life was his name was Dammit.
Yes.
Dr. Glass's office spelled it Dammit.
That's
Right.
right. That's the correct way.
D
and that's the
A
way
M
they spell it.
N. That's
But
right.
they didn't have
Correct.
the N in it. They just had two M's.
Oh, two M's. Yeah,
Yeah.
for that. Yeah.
And that's the way she spelled it. And that's the way they kept it. And we had it on everything. In fact, back then, Onslow County, you had to pay a tax on your dogs. It was three. Well, back then, when we paid on hunting dogs, it was $3 for females, $2 for males. So you women has always costed us money. So,
don't go there
So we tried not to
because,
have too many
we're not
females
on-
in the pack.
We're
But
not on regular radio. I
then
can, I can
it
expand on
was a
that.
$2 dog, so that's what we called it. But yeah, I remember that.
There was the guy that used to own Tie Line Marine, a guy named Bill.
Yes.
Bill had 3 sons. He couldn't ever get their names right.
Right.
So he named every one of them the same thing. Damn it, boy.
Yep.
And that's what Winnie Dollar. Damn it, boy. One of them would come a running, or
Right.
all 3 would come a running.
That's what
Whoever
we
Right.
was in
name our
earshot.
horses.
Right.
We name our horses. Whoa, damn it! Whoa, damn it! You know, that's just.
Well, my dog's name is Jack. That's just simple. Jack
Well,
is
I
Jack.
mean, I didn't name him. My daddy named him. He was drunk when he sat outside when I
The
brought
horse?
No, the dog.
The
damn
dog
it.
was drunk.
oh,
And my
Lord.
daddy was drunk.
Lord.
And he was sitting outside with a bottle of liquor, and I brought up the puppy. He was a little old puppy, half mastiff, half German Shepherd.
Oh, my God.
I put
Okay,
him
guys, we're going to be back maybe Monday.
I need a break, yeah.
Same
I know
time.
we all need a break.
Same time. We'll be back on Monday morning, 7
Yes.
o'clock.
I was a good speller.
And
Bright and early.
any new news, we'll be
And
posting
whatever
it.
we got, if something's happening. And,
We maybe book, well, you know, whatever new.
and if you guys, again, if you want to book some time with us, go ahead. And I'm talking about
Oh,
to
it's
come on the show.
now.
To come on the show, if you want to bring,
Yes.
then we'll get to that in a minute. But if you want to come on the show, you got some events you want to
Yes,
publicize, feel free to do so. The
exactly.
easiest way is to reach out to Lee.
That's
Lee
right.
C. What's your last name? Barrows.
That's a whole
Not
nother
like
word.
Barrow,
Yeah.
not like down there in the county
Hey,
of Barrow. It's
let's not even do
Barrows.
that.
Barrows. It's Lee as an Lee. And the initial C
Careful.
is in
Queen Catherine.
Catherine.
Go.
Lee C. Barrows at gmail.com.
That's correct.
And you want to set up a time to call us next week, we'll call you too.
Yes.
The phones are working, but if you'd like
Mhm.
us to call you, we'd be happy to call you at a prescribed time.
That's
you
right.
can make an appointment. Who do
That's
we got
right.
anybody on Monday yet?
I'll
Working on
have
it.
to look in my book.
I know. It's we're out there kind of
We're supposed to have someone from the Boys and also someone from the YMCA next week. So
All right. That sounds like a win.
Yeah.
We do appreciate y'all, all of
we
y'all.
do,
And
all of you.
if
We
you do want to do, if
Wait a minute, how you
you
doing?
got a company, you want to do some, what are you doing?
Making a heart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Making a
that's you
heart.
make a heart like that and send hearts to everybody.
If
Oh,
if you guys want to do some
Sorry.
advertising, you can also reach out to Lee. You can give her a call, 910-330-0222.
That's correct. And we've got
Really?
some specials coming up.
Yes, we
this
do.
month,
Got some
so
special advertising.
taking
if you
over the
want to do it.
town.
And for you guys who are running for office or you campaign
That's right.
managers, take advantage of this.
That's
Your money
right.
can go twice as far
I'll be contacting
this
you
month.
very soon.
for this month. You are live and local, real talk,
That's right.
on no other place but YouTube and Facebook.
Facebook.
And guess what we're going to do? We'll see you Monday.
Here we go again. He's back in town again. I'll take him back again.